1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, first order of business, I got to get this out of the way because we actually need to keep this in. April 25th at 8 p.m. at Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall, we have No Filter Paul from The Howard Stern Show, Dave Hodge, Mike Danzy, and Hollywood Jay Scrocca performing stand-up comedy from 8 till about whenever, 10, 10:30, 11, who knows. It's a fun night. You're going to have a lot of laughs if you come out. April 25th, you can find tickets through either the Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall's website or the event is being hosted by Eventbrite. So you can get tickets either of those ways. Also, I think $10 is the pre-order. I think there will be tickets at the door for a larger fee, if I'm not mistaken. But those are... We got to sell some tickets. We got to put some asses in seats. So if you're going to be in Atlantic City on April 25th, you got to come to this show. Yeah, Jay's ticket sales aren't exactly where they're supposed to be, but yeah, we'll get them there. We're gonna show them the power of Blacktooth, and yeah, I'm probably gonna get a really bad sunburn. I meant to ask, do you have suntan lotion? Yeah, fuck it. All right, I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna get that nice one side of my.
Tina has
some baby suntan lotion.
No, it's like some fancy cosmetic brands like Elemis. You buy
hell yeah.
Ulta.
It's going to make me ovulate.
It's like face collagen cream.
Fuck
but
yeah.
It's also 30 SPF. Which I should be stoked if you rubbed it all over your thunder thighs.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? Love to. I wore the shortest bathing suit I could find, too, just so that the world can see my balls.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking cover my fucking...
Thunder champs.
My jumbo thighs up. This is the last few episodes have just been hanging out.
Dude, you got a nice package, though. Last episode, you were sitting heavy, and I liked it. It was like...
Really?
I
didn't notice.
I looked in whenever the last one we were sitting out here, you were like, at one point, you were sitting... It was like right when we came back for the part 2, you were sitting here doing the NASCAR segment, and you were just like...
Bulging out,
completely having a...
My fat pad was just hanging out.
Not your fat pad, dude. That baby maker was...
My penis.
There you go. Man, I saw you, dude. You actually have subjects today. The only subject I had was Plug and Jay's show, which has no. He hasn't sold a single fucking ticket for it. But
shock.
I know, right? Because he trashes his fan base all the fucking time.
Does he?
Well,
I don't like Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's just it. He trashed Philly, and apparently,
I don't think anyone heard that.
Yeah, nobody important heard it. But still,
no one who was considering buying tickets.
Nobody's considering buying tickets in the first place.
Well, yeah, but.
He apparently was having
comfortable over here.
He was having a business lunch today with a lady that's gonna do some stand up at the next Anglesey Beer Hall show that he's putting on. So that was fun. Getting to hear.
So now he's an agent again.
He's doing SEG. He's doing the inner workings of the industry shit. So I know he likes doing that.
He's like a captain who still laces them up, or a coach. I mean, back in the day, remember NHL teams had head coaches.
He's a good Reggie Dunlop. Yeah, he's a
from fucking
Slapshot.
I saw my first set of tits in that movie. My head almost exploded.
Do you know whose set of tits
Great
that
set.
is?
Your mom? No, trying to.
Well, it would be. Thank you, Mom. Thanks for getting naked on camera, bitch.
That's the first thing that came to mind. I was gonna say my mom, but we just saw her, so that'd be.
Yeah, L. No, actually, it is a mom. It's Ralphie's mom from A Christmas Story.
Really?
Yeah, that's Ralphie's mom. That's the lesbian. That's Heron, your wife sucks pussy. That's
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's the other movie she's in that I know her from.
Did she show her tits in that one?
No, she did not show her tits in A Christmas Story. In A Christmas Story,
I saw some legs though.
Yeah, there was one
on a lamp.
Very nice lamp.
What am I doing here?
I don't know. What are you trying to do?
Just trying to get comfortable. You know, I'm over here sagging to the left. I'm just trying to.
You're sagging all.
There we go.
That's
all I needed. A little touch. Sorry.
I got one just because I want you to bring it up. The yacht security card.
It was minor, but it was definitely one of the weirder deliveries I've ever done. I have like over 2,000 deliveries in the last 3 years, I've never delivered.
fuck.
That is fair. No, do the womp womp womp. That's all right. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Yeah. Guy ordered groceries at like 11 p.m. $20 payout. I'm taking that all day. It was only like 9 items, and he's texting me like, I'm behind the La Barca restaurant on Avalon or whatever, fucking Longport Boulevard, whatever the hell that's called there.
Route 351 or something like that.
It's technically Egg Harbor Township. I don't know if you knew that. I only knew that because EHT cops like buzz up and down there. My grandpa explained to me, Egg Harbor Township bought that strip of land. That's fucking weird. Shouldn't be allowed. Stupid. I live in EHT. Oh, where? Longport Boulevard. Like, oh, that makes fucking sense.
Actually, you know what is funny? Not to cut you off, but there was somebody I know. Shout out Ian and his dad. His dad lived at that yacht club. Not that yacht club, but the one across the street on the in a houseboat for a couple of years.
I think that's what this guy was doing, but this was like a yacht. But like,
I mean, people live in yachts there too. Like it's
it reminded me of like Tony, like just like separated from his wife. Was like, I'm staying on the fucking Stugotz for the fucking week,
beating up some Russian guy.
Yeah. But yeah,
I remember.
I mean, fairly typical delivery anyway. He's a nice enough guy, and told me, if you're comfortable, bring it back to my boat. And I was kind of sketched out. Like, I'm like, is this guy gonna fucking murder me or something? Like, I didn't know this was like a yacht club. I thought he just had like a boat docked out back.
He's just hanging out back in a dinghy.
I thought he was gonna like drive me out to the middle of the lake, like Godfather 3 or whatever, Godfather 2, and fucking what's his name? Michael kills Fredo.
Yeah.
I'm smart, but yeah, all went well. I'm back there. I find the boat, big fucking nice, gorgeous yacht called Our Time. Had green lights all over it. He just texted me. He was like, "Hey man, just look for the boat with the green lights. If you feel comfortable, you can step onto the boat and like set it on the back there. Or if not, there's a cart that they use there. Just put it on the black cart and I'll find it. Whatever. All good. I go there. I'm fucking gangster. I walk onto the boat. Come on, dog.
Come on, man. When
you think you're dealing with Joey Bananas, Joey Landlubber? I'm a fucking captain here. No, I'm not good with boats. I was literally like, I'm gonna fall in, dude.
I'm gonna vomit. Right? It just gets seasick.
I don't get seasick actually. I'm pretty good with that, but I'm definitely not like.
You're buoyant. I mean, it's all yeah, for sure. We both are.
Fuck you. Hurt my feelings. This is very long and drawn out, but long story short, I set the stuff down, and then obviously when you drop off an order, you have to take a picture of it. So just, I guess to security's, from his vantage point, it just looks like I'm like snapping pictures of this guy's boat at fucking midnight. Yeah. But he came out, he was a cool enough guy. He was just like, what's going on, man? I was like, I thought he was a customer, so I come at him with like super white, like,
hello, sir.
Yeah, customer service energy. I'm like, hey, how's it going, sir? Like, thanks for your order, whatever the fuck I said. And he was just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, delivering groceries. He was just like, what? And I'm like, Instacart. This guy ordered a grocery delivery from ShopRite. He was like, oh yeah, Jason stepped out about an hour ago. Like, he should be back soon. I'm like, oh no, it's already paid for. Like, just have to leave it on his boat and take a picture. He was like, all good. Do what you gotta do. And then when we were leaving, I was like, take care, man. Have a good one. He just like kept walking like a GTA NPC. Like, he didn't even say like. Didn't say a word. It was weird. I don't know if he like had AirPods in or something.
You had to hit circle to interact.
Yeah, something like.
Well, in my head, what I was thinking, like, because you told me this, I'm like, in my head, like, instantly goes to like Jack Black Doc guy, like, like some dude that they hire to basically scare off people trying to take TikTok videos and like Instagram photos.
I think that's what he thought I was.
Yeah, and like. In my head, he
was
like,
cool as a cucumber till the end, and then he just like ignored me.
Well, he just blew you off.
I don't know if I was like too friendly, and he was just like, I'm trying to go fucking back to watching Netflix in my office.
Exactly.
Like, I'm annoyed that I had to come out here at fucking midnight.
Yeah. Probably that. But in my head, it was like either one of two people. It was either like, because you said it's just like some like white guy. It's either Rick Harris from Pawn Stars, like, because that gives me like Rick Harris vibes. Like, that's just this guy who's going to be like matter of fact to the point, and then you apologize, and you're like, all right, we'll see you. And it's like, yeah, whatever, business is concluded.
Yeah,
like 10 minutes ago.
Done.
I don't have to fuck it. Or Steve Austin, just because I was doing the voice. Like, hey, what are you doing over there, bro?
Nah, he literally just came at me super friendly. And like, Tina made the comment where she was like, oh, well, at least if we, like, joking, like, if we ever get a yacht, at least we know there's good security. I'm like, he really wasn't good security. Like,
he didn't shoot me.
No, he just didn't. I was just like, I was about to take a picture of it now because I thought he was the customer. I'm like, your groceries over there, but I was about to snap the confirmation pic, and he was just like, oh, you're just out here taking pictures. And like, the read I got on him was that like he didn't care. Like he was just like, I'll just keep taking pictures. Like
Keep
he
doing
wasn't
your
gonna,
thing, buddy.
he wasn't gonna stop me. He was
If you said yes, he was just gonna be like, cool.
all right, see ya. Like I made contact, but I'm good. But yeah, he was a super nice guy. Pretty anticlimactic
Well,
story,
no,
but
it was probably
it
like
was weird. Like I kind of like he rolled up on me and I was kind of nervous. Like this is gonna look weird. Like I'm fucking like breaking into yachts or something. Because I was like walking around on the back of this guy's fucking $80 million boat or whatever it costs. Like I don't know. No harm, no foul. Guy tipped me like $20, so good way to end the work week.
I enjoyed that there was like the moment though, like you said, where like maybe this guy is just like so over his job or whatever, because there's like, there's like kids that follow trains around. Like maybe there's like that contingent of like autistic, like,
or even just the dumb,
man
like
that,
rich
like-
kids that hang out around there that are running around in the summertime that he's got to like chase around
Yeah.
off Old Man Jenkins' boat or whatever the fuck. Like
some bullshit where he's
cliche
just like
shit.
over his job and he's like, this kid's not breaking anything. Like he's fine. Like, fuck him.
You taking pictures for your Instagram? Have fun, bud.
Yeah.
Don't
Where's
break-
your parent?
Don't break anything.
Yeah. No, I would probably be a very terrible security guard. I've already said I've expressed to you multiple times I'd be a terrible cop.
You know how cops normally come at you and they're very suspicious? Like there was not a suspicious bone in this guy's body. I'm sure I didn't. Like once he came up to me, he realized that I'm just some fat idiot delivering groceries. Like he didn't care, but like he didn't. Like when I got pulled over for peeing on the side of the parkway a few weeks ago, I didn't get pulled over. I just put
you
my,
pulled over and started peeing on
and
the
I
side.
did it again the other night, and I was like, got away with one, boys. I had to go so bad that I was just like desperate, and I just fucking.
They don't care.
Well, nothing happened, and no one went by this time. But yeah, the other night when I did that, the cops were like, they have this air about them where they're like, I don't believe what you're telling me, which they have to in a certain regard. But this guy was literally like, I believe you. Have a good night. Like, he didn't.
You're white.
He didn't break my. Essentially, yeah.
There's no way you could be
one of my
lying.
Tyrone coworkers had been back there. He'd been like, "What the fuck are you doing back here, buddy?"
We know they can't swim. This is not going to be a very long chase. Like he's still there. I don't know why in my fucking head this was something about the UFC fight the other day that made me crack up. There was one lady cop. Like they only had like 7 cops that I saw the entire time I was there, and like mostly the cops.
This was an AC, right?
Yeah, it was at Boardwalk Hall. So like it was only like maybe like it was packed. Like the place had like easily like 20,000 people in there. It was quite the event. But there was only like there's a bunch of security guards, but like in uniform police, like there was only like I would say 7 cops maybe. One of which was this
pretty
like
low.
Yeah, it's like very cute. Well, also like in my head, I'm thinking like they probably don't have to worry about too much with like all the people that are professional like stranglers around here. Like if they're gonna fight, people are going to like intervene before we even probably are gonna get to it. So like, whatever. But the of the 7, there was like one lady cop, and she was very cute lady cop. And all I could think is that like I'm pretty drunk, and I've noticed how cute this chick is. There is like a contingent of like 11 to 12,000 drunk UFC bros here that are like, yo, lady cop, come wrestle me. That must be so fucking irritating
And then
for her.
just her job in general, like all day long, the brother's coming up to her like, damn,
babe?
you write me a ticket, girl. Like
I got a little fentanyl on my ass.
black dudes are like, extremely good at flirting. Like
Did you ever see the? Yeah, did you ever see the the news reporter that's like basically telling some guy to come over to her house later, like on the air, because they're like, and now to Suzanne blah 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 in downtown so and so, and it's just this lady. The guy's like, yeah, I got a big dick, and the chick's just like, oh okay, oh shit, we're live. Like oh no. Like it wasn't even like she's supposed to be interviewing this guy or anything. He just like walked up to her and started spitting game. I think I've said it to you too. That one, that news reporter where the guy's in a wildfire in California somewhere, and this news reporter is out there, and she's like all dressed up like in like rain slickers and like has like a face covering on. Whoa, sorry. But yeah, she's like all like covered up, and this random dude in sunglasses and like dressed pretty much how I'm dressed right now, walks up holding a puppy and goes, "Hey, you're super pretty. Would you like to go on a date sometime?" And the chick's just like, "We are on the air. What do you think about all the wildfires?" And the guy goes, "Hey, it's pretty cool." And she's like, "What about like all the people losing their homes?" He's like, like, probably not too good. Like, and then just like
About that date.
wanders off. Like, I want that dude's energy.
I lack that so much.
I do too.
I'm always just like, I don't want to bother them.
I don't want to bother you.
Now I'm in a committed relationship, but even as a single man, there's no way I'm going up to the news reporter like, damn, she cute.
Yo,
Like,
you good.
She knows she is. Like,
I'm a goon to you later, girl.
I don't like that term.
I don't either. Where did it come from? Where did it
I think
go?
like the Reddit underworld.
'Cause
Perhaps.
I know it's about masturbating, right?
I think it's just like
Lusting or something.
no. I think gooning is like just jerking off like for hours.
Yeah, like-
it's just, that's
like-
pretty weird. I never got into that. I was never a goon.
I was introduced to it by watching Sam High. That was like a 30-minute video called like Goon Memes Supreme, and it just didn't answer any questions.
Every time I watch this stuff, I'm like, this is gonna be really good, and then 5 minutes in, I'm like, what the fuck
this
am
is
I watching?
horrible.
It's
Yeah.
not good content
Look,
at all.
it's
dude.
like people breaking his.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, his people breaking his shit down is like way funnier because he had that like reality show for a hot minute, not the $1 Million Extreme show on, because like all those episodes are on YouTube and they're pretty funny. There's one called The Wall, which I highly recommend you watch with your girlfriend present because it's very they're just interviewing ladies that they found on like some dating site, and it's like Sam and like Nick, and they're dressed up like they're in like face paint and like dressed like emperors from like the Chang dynasty
Jesus Christ.
and these like thrones, and then there's like these like 3 very normal looking bachelorette women that come in and they're like, you're over 40 and you're a professional, what would make you think that a man would want you? And like
Jesus
just like
Christ.
completely fucking tear them down, and like they're in on it, obviously they're in on it, but it
That's
is
like that porn bashing. Remember that guy?
casting couch,
Yeah.
facial abuse. I
Damn,
think.
you uglier than a fucking like you just
Ma'am,
roasting.
your fucking front teeth are in 2 different fucking area codes.
And
what do
then
you what do
the
you go
look
to,
of like sheer defeat on their face?
what do you
like,
go to school for? I go to school for art history. Better hope that pans out because this shirt
man,
to their face
Fucking horrible.
takes your take your shirt off, ma'am. Your fucking chest looks like it had a fucking stroke in 1960.
That guy is fucked up.
Dude, he's a fucking demon.
Is he a hot guy?
No, he's just some fucking fat Jewish guy that,
Really?
that roasts him.
That's
and then-
even worse.
And then
dude.
he doesn't.
I feel like you got to
he-
be Johnny Sins with
he-
a full head of hair to talk to people.
He
like that.
doesn't fuck him. He has 2 actors fuck them. And I think from what I understand, facial abuse has completely been taken down. And now it's called something butt related.
Now the facial abuse thing is that they get jizzed in their face at the end of it. I'm
They
presuming.
get just abused up and down. It was like the
It's like one of those restaurants where they have to be mean to you.
Yeah. Basically, it's like there was some senator's daughter, from what I understand, that was on it, and the guy tried to get the video completely removed from the internet, and it went poorly.
Went viral.
Oh yeah, basically. It was some like chick. Her dad was like like in government, or he was like high up in a bank or something like that, and she just wanted to get like revenge on him. So she was on like the dirtiest of
Revenge
dirty.
on him for what? For
Just being
successful.
being her dad. I don't fucking know. I don't chick logic. Like that's why
Why do people hate their parents so much?
I disagree with my father pretty much like 9 out of 10 things, but I love him to death and I care about him more than anybody in the world. And yeah, I don't understand that. And it's like, I think it's like a psychology thing, because you remember Shane talking about like, he's like, I went to therapy and all they tried to do was get me to hate my dad. And like,
Pretty much.
it's yeah, kind of like they tried to make me feel like I needed to explore my sexuality, which no, fuck you. I already
Shane's as straight as a fucking arrow. Like,
I told you about my one therapist trying to like set me up with his intern, right?
like a chicken turn?
Yeah. So I had there was this therapist I went to was in the middle of a very vicious breakup that the girlfriend that I was breaking up with suggested I go to therapy, and we did.
Don't
like,
they all? Isn't
yeah,
that their like
yeah,
go-to?
it's their go-to.
My girl suggests that like once every 6 months.
I don't want to talk about this. You should go to therapy. Well, no, I'm going to do one or the other. And then, like, when you do, you eventually cave and you do go to therapy, and they give you fucking horrible advice that you bring home. And they're like, where did you hear that? It's like, well, the doctor you made me go to said that. I'm not doing that. Like, the one was, like, super benign. He said that if I'm going to have an argument with my chick, we should hold hands. And I was like, that's...
Great advice, buddy.
I was like, all right. So I was holding her
He's
hand,
like,
and
yeah,
then she
that'll
dug
be $350.
dug her nails into my fucking palm. And I'm like, well, she was like stressed out. And I was like, well, yeah, you're cutting off circulation to like my fucking fingers, woman. Stop it. But yeah, he had like an intern, and after like a couple of sessions of the intern hearing all of my problems and like weighing in, he suggested that me and the intern go on a date to a movie. And I'm like, no, like what?
You're not helping,
That is
sir.
that's not healthy. Like what?
we talked about it on here. I think I signed up for therapy. I've signed up like a couple times, and I always pussy out like halfway through the process, and I just don't show up. I actually paid $200 to the one place in Linwood, and just because I never canceled in time, it's just like that came out of my account. But
Just
like
to eat it.
But that one was, this lady was like a boudoir model or whatever the hell it's called.
Yes.
Yeah. So you search your name on Google, and it's just like
Her in lingerie.
literally.
Spread her
and
fucking
Tina
flaps.
was like, "What the fuck is this?" And her dad was like, "Dude, you gotta go."
You got a good one, man.
Yeah, like, but Tina wasn't like outright like don't go, but she like, you know how women do that thing where like, yeah, do what you want, and it's just like,
It's a test. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I wanted to talk to like an old guy, not some fucking like me as the incel cuck that I am. And this lady's hot as fuck. Like, I'm gonna be nervous around her, and like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be like Gandolfini Melfi where I'm like, hey, what's up, toots? I'm just gonna like withdraw even further because I'm like trying not to look like a bigger pussy than I am in front of this attractive woman. I don't know. I don't want a hot chick as my therapist.
Yeah,
it's like, you don't know what I go through.
You're bearing the soul, and it's like I'm not gonna like fucking like tell someone that it's like you've never experienced anything to the degree of you. That's like a hard thing.
You
too.
fucking figure skated through life for the last 35 years.
Like I know you fucking bash me all the time for it, but it's like that's why I stopped taking like there's certain things I just don't talk about with women anymore, and it's like I stopped taking a lot of what they say seriously. Like and I'm not saying as a whole. I'm saying that like women in certain circumstances that like are directly pertaining to my romantic life, there's some things about what they say where it's just no, I'm not taking anything that is your 2 cents on this subject seriously. And it is mostly because you have had alternatives your entire life that I have just not had, and you will not understand what it's like. And the reason that you tell like your suggestion always like kind of boils back down to therapy, or it always goes like you should talk to somebody about that or whatnot, is because what you're saying is you have problems that I don't want to deal with, but I want you to be better. Whereas I would rather talk to you about the problems and try to work through it with you, which is like one of those things where, shout out Casey. Casey's very good at this. She's very good at sitting me down and making me actually like get to the point of what I'm trying to fucking say. But
Casey's a good egg.
She's a good egg, but she's like one in a million where you're not like getting that from most people, where they're just like, you have more problems than I anticipated like getting into this relationship, so you should really go like dump these on someone else.
Talk to an old Jewish guy about it.
And it's like, well, first off, I don't
racket for the Jews.
You guys are that and music. But anyway,
my girlfriend's pussy.
Spike up. Different episode. It's still.
I was thinking about that song you sent me last night, not the.
Oh yeah.
That song's also terrible.
That song is good.
What was that band's name?
I don't know, some guy's name. But yeah.
No. In The Sopranos, the band's name was like.
We recorded in Amsterdam, in
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. Spike Up. What the fuck was the band's name?
Spike Up, Jumpy.
I'll think of it. Keep going.
But yeah, like there's also like a layer of like therapy being like I don't want to divulge. Like there was this one therapist I had that was a chick, and the first thing she did was accuse me of being anorexic. Gay. Well, no, she knew that right off the bat. That was the first thing I told her. Hi, I'm gay, and I was like, thank God, we can have this conversation transparently. No,
Dave Attell.
Yeah. Been watching a lot of fucking Insomniac lately too, because it's all on YouTube. But just to wrap it up, yeah, the chick therapist told me that she thought I was anorexic, and I'm like, no, that's not it. I was like, that's not it at all. And she's like, well,
because your intermittent fasting regimen, or
no, because I was running. It was like when I lost all that weight, I was like running, and I explained to her, I run between 8 and 15 miles a day, and I eat like enough to basically maintain, but like I feel better when I eat less because I can run further. That didn't resonate with her. She was like, well, what if I got a Snickers bar right now and I put it out in front of you? I was like, what would that
Lady,
do?
I'm not a fucking teenage girl.
That's just it. I was like, I'm not taking I'm not seeing you anymore. This is retarded. And yeah, from there I have not gone back to a woman since. Just
wasn't this during the period where like a relative was very sick?
All of my relatives died in the course of 4 months. Yeah, my grandfather died, my grandmother died, all of which I was at college for. And then when I come home on spring break,
she wants to talk about eating disorders.
My cousin gets waffled by a fucking Atlantic City electric truck, gets put in a coma, and then dies 3 days later.
Jesus
and
Christ. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, cousin Anthony, shout out, rest in peace. He was on a job site and he got fucked up at work. He got a crane dropped something on his head, and he had a concussion, and he had like two parts of his skull that were like, I think, like either they had like a crack or a fracture in him or something. So yeah, they like doped him up and then were like, yeah, go get the bus and go home. So he's walking to get the bus, and Atlantic City Electric truck on Pacific Avenue is going by, and it just fucking waffled him because he was like, I guess, leaning out in the street.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I hear all that, and then this lady wants to ask me about fucking, will you eat fucking Snickers bars and shit like that. Like, no, I'm
This is not my issue at hand.
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit traumatized right now. But yeah, anyway, I won't talk about that. Like, there's just shit I won't talk about with like chicks anymore. Where like I'll hear what they have to say, but I'm gonna take it with a massive grain of salt that there's a lot of alternatives that you guys have had that is just look like
it's a different experience.
it is, and I'm not.
There's pros and cons to both.
Yeah,
but. And especially if you're not a conventionally attractive female, you don't really get as much of those benefits.
Well, okay, you get more benefits than a dude, but I don't think that if you're a conventionally attractive or an unconventionally
You're
attractive,
a hot blonde with giant tits, and then there's like Stacy, who's like a fat, frumpy fucking dickhead. Like she does not get treated with the same respect. As
maybe not
fucking,
by white guys, but by brothers.
all right, fair point.
just say like even like fat, like, you know, precious looking black chicks, I see them at boogie nights every weekend with like a skinny ass wannabe wigger white guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's just a different walk of life. Every chick can find a guy that is conducive to what they want in life, but it's like, I matched with a scam the other day. I matched with an Indian guy pretending to be a woman, and I was asking him what his favorite book was, and then like I was like, I read Siddhartha in high school, and like it was just awkward silence, and then I instantly got unmatched.
I don't get that joke because I'm stupid.
No,
But,
there's nothing. There's not a joke there. Just Siddhartha is a book about India, about the Enlightenment, or the Indian, the Buddhist
Did you
Enlightenment.
offend him?
Whoever it was knew that I think that they think I thought the shtick was up, and saying that was like, I'm saying without saying you're Indian, and
It's it's like a massive scam on dating sites where
Baby Gerl.
no, kind of like it happened to my aunt where, you know, Wheelchair Picasso passed away. She's on dating sites like boomer dating sites like Plenty of Fish and shit like that.
Yeah.
And the first like two guys that she was trying to date basically were just trying to like scam her out of money. Like the guy was like claiming he was military, and she was like, rah rah, like hell yeah, fucking support the troops. And then
Cocksucker.
like a month into like they hadn't dated in person because he was saying he was stationed somewhere or whatever the fuck. And,
I think Guam.
basically comes down to the guy is like, oh, I have to have knee surgery, but the military's not paying for it. Can you please send me like $300 in Apple gift cards or whatever, in PayPal gift cards or whatever the fuck, in Apple and Google Play cards.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? Like, the military would 1,000% cover your procedure. And he's like, no, there was like a lapse in coverage. Like, it was a really elaborate scam. But
yeah, well,
basically, she wasted a month talking to this guy. Like, and he spun the tale. Like, oh, we'll meet up. We'll do this, whatever. And it just all ended up being this elaborate scam for $300. That's a long time. I'm asking for more than $300 if I talk to someone for a month.
I went to the scam.
You what?
I went to the scam.
Oh, damn.
Baby Gerald.
Caught me off guard.
She was real though. That was the only problem. That was my first
Yeah,
mistake.
at least you got laid.
Nah,
My aunt got no dick out of this transaction. She just
What's
got
your
her
aunt's
balls
number? What's your
working.
aunt's number?
All right, yeah. 609-674.
Come here.
Come here.
Yeah,
But that, and it's not just her that it's. I'm not trying to like single my aunt out. I love my aunt.
Yeah.
It's just like a shitty scenario that she like.
she got victim.
She's putting herself back out there. She's a widow,
Yeah.
and that happens. And it's one of those things you hear about a lot where like people think that like they're talking to someone legit. Like they make it seem like really legit. Like you look them up on Facebook, whatever the fuck. They have a whole thing where it's easy to fall for, and then it ends up they're just trying to like scam you out of money. And it's like that's, I don't know. I mean, I guess that happens anywhere in the world, but
When she said she wanted to lose 100 pounds, fuck. How am I gonna word this? I don't even know how to do it. I was gonna make a joke about saying 100 pounds or something like that, needing to lose 100 pounds, meaning that she's a British lady asking for $100, but she was also fat. I don't know how to get you fuckers at home figure it out. I've been sick the last few days. My tummy hurts.
we're
But no,
we're delayed.
on the
Joe's got sensitive ears.
on the no, it's been fucking killing me lately. But on the subject of that, though, I told you my dad and my grandfather both got scammed. Jay through a Zeusk, I want to say, like one of those dating sites.
Damn.
He was
That's one that they get the geezers on.
yeah,
Zeusk.
and it was someone. It was like someone from Vineland or something, or Millville. And I'm like, Jay, I don't think that's a real person. He's like, fuck you.
Her
And then-
name's Gina.
yeah. But yeah, sure enough, like a couple of days went by, he's like, started asking for money. Yeah.
That's what
Sure
it always
enough.
comes down to.
Yeah, and then my grandpa is on some like he's not a dating. He's happily married still. But my grandfather is on like some like Christian website where they have it's like through his church. He's an old guy. He likes hanging out with people that he can trust at this point in his life. So he goes to church with his wife. And, like they go, their friends like go out to dinner and do like supper parties and stuff like that. So he's in like these groups and whatnot. And I guess somebody claiming to be me. Called him and said, I'm on the West Coast and I've broken my leg and I'm in a hospital and I need you to send me $400 because I can't get discharged and then I'll immediately come to your house right after. So they were like trying to coordinate and like send me money, and then like at one point my grandfather's like, wait, like we'll either come pick you up or we'll get you like a cab or something like that. And yeah, sure enough, the guy didn't answer and they just called me directly and were like, yeah, where do you want us to send the money? I'm like, you don't need to send me any money, what the hell's going on? They're like, you just called us and said you're in the hospital. I'm like, no.
You're like at home jerking off.
Yeah,
like, dude, what
it was
the fuck?
literally the exact activity I was up to. I had my cock in my hand like 3 minutes earlier, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a nap. What the hell? Oh, now I gotta go fucking shoot someone in Oregon. Yeah, but
It's
yeah,
a good scam. I mean,
yeah, they get the
those-
olds, man.
Those folks,
Sucks.
they do it. Not to circle back to like DoorDash and shit, but they do it to DoorDashers. It's a very common scam. They'll place an order for something very minuscule, a cup of ranch from Chipotle.
Yeah.
You can order shit like that. They'll order the very minimum you can order, and then so when a customer calls when you're on a job, the caller ID says DoorDash, but it's just some random number.
Right.
So they call and pretend that they're DoorDash support, and they say like, "Oh, I need your login information to like verify your account." And what they if you fall for it, they get your login info and they fucking withdraw all of your funds, and you're
Damn.
just beat for that week's pay, basically.
Shit, dude.
So, I mean, they just play the numbers game where it's like, if they get 2 people to fall for it a week, like that's like $2,000 a week or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's all those scams are just a numbers game because
Yeah.
the vast majority of people don't fall for it. But like,
I'm like kind of nervous. I actually got an email today. I sold something on eBay and they needed my bank account information, and then it like came up today. It was like, your bank account. The email didn't look like sketchy or anything. It was like I already did it, and they were like, we need you to confirm it. So I confirmed it, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I called like tech support, and then it was like all of like 10 minutes, but India basically told me I'm good. They're like, yeah, whatever you just did was actually us asking for that. But I was like, you understand why I'm calling you? And they're like, yeah, we totally get it. Like, better you call us than you don't. You
as
just
they're
do it.
buying a moped with your fucking $200.
Yeah, it was like $8. I sold a $2 bill that had it was a $2 star note. Somebody paid $8.
It's a good investment right there.
Well, they're Jay's. Jay's got a ton of currency that he pulled out of the cash register in the diner. And I think I sent you like the picture of the one. He's got the first prints. They were circulated, but he's got an entire set of 150, a 20, a 10, and a 5, and a bunch of ones from the year 1935, and they're all the same series. Nice shot.
Sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, like
Tina's dad's really into
coin and
yeah,
collecting and whatnot.
he knows which coins are worth money and all that. Like,
Silver and gold is at a premium, like especially in the last 3 days. It's gone fucking through the fucking roof. It's because a lot of people are worried during the election, and we also keep approving these aid packages to Ukraine and other places that we might be going a little bit hard on the fiat currency. So people are panic buying gold and silver, and it's driving the price up. And also crypto always is when crypto goes up, gold generally tends to stay the same, but when crypto goes down, gold goes up because more people need to mine. Just a little insight out there. This is Joe's Stock Tip Corner, brought to you by SEG, Skrock Entertainment Group.
There's a chick that we went to school with that's like was a hooker or is a hooker or something. But now she's
I was trying to muscle that down, dude. That was not what I was expecting.
and now she's big on day trading like gold or something. She's in some Telegram group and she posts like, oh, I made $203 today selling fucking buying and selling gold. All you have to do is follow this Telegram group and like, you know, basically tail our plays.
Yeah, don't do that. She's gonna try and rob you for me.
Yeah, not the most trustworthy.
I like.
She lives in Mexico now.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah. So
actually, Mexico is they have a good amount of they produce some pretty cool gold coins. They produce their own Krugerrands that you can get like half-ounce Mexican, or I think they're called peso Krugerrands or something like that, or millipeso Krugerrands, something to the effect of that. But yeah, they have a really cool
Krugerrand.
They have a really cool mint down there. You said it's a fake one though, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that, but
well, you mentioned it was fake.
Well, because someone took it to Beachcombers and tried to sell it while my grandpa was still warm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
damn.
And last time I got into this, I started yelling, and then Joe chopped all of it. So.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
But yeah, it's allegedly fake, which is why I still have it, because they sold all the real ones. Anyway,
bad news bears.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I got some cool coins. I think those Hitler stamps are honestly the coolest thing that I own.
I have Hitler's teacup.
You were drinking a cup.
Our podcast cohort, Tom Segura, gave it to me.
Yeah.
One of our colleagues.
What's like the weirdest, most obscure item that you think you or someone you know maybe owns? Because I have a good one. I have two. I have two. My aunt, in my aunt's attic, we have the deck bell from the Queen Mary that my family won at an auction somewhere, and then this guy that
I have my grandmom's wig that looks like a helmet.
No, like this guy that my mom knew has a deck, like a life vest from the deck of the Titanic that he has framed in his bathroom.
Calling a buddy of mine. He's an expert in life vests.
Rick Harris here.
No, I can't really think anything obscure. That's kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
Like historically obscure.
Yeah, like, I mean, or just like cool, like
I have
something.
a basketball signed by Allen Iverson.
That's cool.
It's also signed by World Be Free, which is some other basketball American fucking guy who changed his name.
Was that the guy that played for the Knicks or whatever?
He played
World
for.
Peace?
He was kind of like
Metal World.
No,
Peace?
that's Ron Artest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forget World Be Free. I keep doing the thing, and I notice that on podcasts all the time. Dale Jr. does it a lot. A lot of people do it. I don't know if it's annoying. It doesn't really bother me, but it's like it's like the opposite of a period. You know how a period ends a sentence? Like that's like to start your sentence,
it's like
or something.
a semicolon.
Yeah, I don't know. But World Be Free. I don't remember his real name. He was like a journeyman NBA player in like the 80s and 90s or something, and then he broke the world by
changing his name.
Yeah, now I'm World Be Free.
Wow.
That's fucking sick,
Fuck
dude.
the world, free world, world be free.
That's so gay. That's such a gay name. What's your name? I am World Be Free.
World Be Free.
Stupid. The ball that I have signed by Iverson was from the year that he won MVP.
Sweet.
My grandpa was always super butthurt that like
they gave it to a black.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yes and it's the improv line. Yes and no, that he wanted the ball. Pat Croce used to be involved with OCPD a lot. I don't know how exactly.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
he was a good guy.
that's how my grandpa got this stuff. My grandpa was an Ocean City cop. He wanted the ball to be signed like year 2001 MVP Allen Iverson, and like it just said like to Jake Allen Iverson. He's like, this would have been worth a lot more money if he wrote MVP on it. And I'm like, would it though? Like then Allen Iverson was like king of the world, but like unless you're like a basketball nerd or like a Philly Sixers nerd, like most people don't give a shit about Allen Iverson. Like it's just like a lot of that sports memorabilia stuff, and Dale Earnhardt stuff is one of the like my Wheelchair Picasso specifically had like this whole massive collection of like Dale Earnhardt Coke bottles, Dale Earnhardt die cast. It had a whole Dale Earnhardt room in his house.
Yeah.
And like this was like his retirement. Like this is going to be worth so much money. And a lot of that sports memorabilia collectible stuff like tanked. Like there's like no market for it now. It doesn't. It's completely irrelevant. I think like
it's because right in the 90s was this like sweet pocket of like consumerism and commercialism. Like they both kind of like were at such a height that they didn't know when it was gonna break. And I think the first thing that illustrated when it was gonna like break, and you're gonna get massive depreciation on things. Which, by the way, I could segue into Pogs. Don't let me forget Pogs because I have a funny Pogs story. Beanie Babies, the Thai, what's his name? The guy that made them. It was like that was a fluke investment on his part, where like he was just like, I need to throw money at some sector.
My grandparents fell for that too. They
Yeah,
bought a fucking shitload of Beanie Babies. And
It was like once they
they're gonna
figured
be worth so much.
once people figured out what was like fueling it, where it was like the only reason that these things have value right now is because they're hot at like this moment, and this guy has like no future plans, like because they still make Beanie Babies, but like they're not making them at the clip or like in the same way that they were making them like in 1998.
They're like culturally irrelevant now.
Yeah, exactly. Like same with Furbies, same with like other, but yeah, like Pogs was the one that I want to circle back to because people were always like Pogs are going to be a great investment because you had the Slammers, and the Slammers were like $10 back in like '95 when I was playing them. And yeah, I have like a dozen of the Slammers. I have like
Now what is a
thousands.
Pog Slammer? Because I don't even know what a Pog is.
Pogs were like these like circles made of like cardboard with images on them, and like, you know, think of like things from the 90s that you would like have as the background of your phone. So like today's Punisher fucking skull, or like Goosebumps was real popular. I had a set of Goosebumps Pogs, and like the Slammer was the Say Cheese and Die guy, the cover of that with the skull. Yeah, so like I had like sets like that. There was like NASCAR ones where it was like the drivers, then the cars, then the numbers, and then the like it was just like anything that was in the zeitgeist.
There's a new version of that now. It's the Funko Pops.
Yeah, so
there's NASCAR. Dale Jr. talked about it a few weeks ago on his show, and it was like the Dale Jr. Funko Pop, and he was like, "What the hell is a Funko Pop, man?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's just like a bobblehead.
He's like, "I've seen them in stores and stuff, but like everyone's always asking me to sign their damn Funko Pops." And he's like, "Where'd these come from?" Like,
Yeah.
isn't it like a Nintendo?
Yeah,
thing
it's
or
like a bobblehead, but it's got like a QR code, and you kind of can
looks
see.
like a Wii character.
Yeah,
basically.
you can see like who else, if like you get in a database, you can see who's collecting what and like what's out there and like how rare shit is, and then like you can broker things like the way sneakerheads do, but it's more with like action figure gear
this
collectibles.
stuff does come full circle at some point. Sometimes, not always. A lot of times, stuff loses value completely.
Pogs come full circle.
Pokemon,
hard.
Pokemon came back around to where now like
Yeah.
certain Pokemon cards are extremely valuable.
Exactly. That was the Paul brothers. The Paul brothers really helped remotivate, like because like Magic the Gathering has
I'm
always
sure
had like
Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah, that too, but like I know that the Paul brother having the Charizard that he walked out, like it's like a pendant with like a 100 rated holographic
It's like
Charizard.
$1 million necklace or whatever.
It was like the card itself is worth something like $200,000. It's like it's an extremely rare card that he has, but like I know that that really resuscitated the market for like at least like foiled fucking.
Shep. Actually, shout out to Shep.
Yeah, we gotta
not to go into the plugs, but he had an expensive Charizard. I think he got like $6,000 or $8,000. I don't want to talk out of turn, but I know he got like a nice chunk for one of his holographic Charizard cards.
Someone stole mine from Keys, and my mom forever said that she was going to sue the owner of Keys for letting someone go through my backpack without me watching.
That
was very.
I
funny
had
to
a
me.
whole binder full of Pokemon cards, and like I tried to play along when I was a kid. I was a sports nerd. Like I was a fat jock when I was 7. Like I just thought I was going to the NBA or the NFL or something. But I tried to play along with Pokemon. I never really understood it. I was never like that into it. I never played the games on Game Boy really. Like I thought they were kind of cool. I would play at buddies from time to time, but I don't think I ever owned like Pokemon Ruby or Pokemon Sapphire. No, I was playing like Mario Kart and like, you know, NBA Jam or something stupid. But so I was a big sports guy.
I was playing Dick Shark
at like age. Yeah, I wasn't there yet. At age like 7 or 8, I just gave them all up to my sisters. I was like, you guys can have these. Like Pokemon's gay as fuck.
Sweet.
Like, and that's how 8-year-olds talked in the 90s. Like
I was gay.
that's fucking.
You guys
gay,
are gay.
dude. This Pokemon's for faggots. Like.
Yeah,
But yeah, I gave them all away, and then I don't know what they did with them. I still have my sports cards, actually. Got it out of my grandmom's sheds. I had like 4 binders full of, like it was like a binder for each sport. So I had like baseball, hockey, football, basketball.
I'm waiting till my dad's girlfriend gets some of her shit out of our fucking shed or the pole barn, whatever you called it.
It is a pole barn.
Because we have seriously like, you know, printer paper boxes that like they're like this big. It's about like the size of 2 things of paper. Like it's like 8 by 12 times 2, so it's like 24 by 16. Jay has 4 boxes that are filled with baseball and hockey cards from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that are like, most of them are in good condition because we keep them in like climate control and whatnot, but he rubber banded some of them. But we're talking like the entire like Stanley Cup championship team Philadelphia Flyers, like in first edition, like baseball cards. Like
it's one of those weird things where it's like it's valuable to the right buyer, but like facilitating that buyer is like the challenge.
No, no, not necessarily with these. These are good. It's the condition that's going to burn me because having complete sets is what people are looking for. Having a rookie card or having like so my most prized card that I have in my collection is an autographed Jim Thome rookie card, and he autographed
it. Pretty cool. Jim Thome was a fucking.
He was a G.
I love that guy.
He's a really nice guy. I've met him several times.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I mean, at autograph party, like at the stadium, but like super chill, like big Southern guy, like exactly like
I have that whole, like you said, those autograph parties. The Flyers did one for season ticket holders.
I met Brashear there. He had the same disposition. He was like real fucking chill. Like,
I was after, so I met that whole squad that went to the Cup.
Nice.
What was left of it?
The 2010.
It was like 08, 09. So it might have been like the year before or the year after the Cup, but I met like Richie, Carter, Hartnell, Briere,
Ankle, or not Lilia.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I met. I don't know if that's my most obscure historical possession, but I have a poster with the whole squad's autograph. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Most of them were pretty chill. Like James Aaron Reeves, like was a nice enough guy. Like Richards and Carter were like rock stars at that point, so they were kind of just like, here you go, kid. Fuck off. Yeah, have a good one. But
Kurt Schilling was that way. I met
Kimmo Timonen was a nice guy.
Dude, he's like people have said that. Like I mentioned the Timonen hit the other day, and someone was like, I met like some hockey player I was playing poker with.
Was
like
it Timonen or was it?
No, it wasn't the
Kapanen?
one we were. No, it was Sammy Kapanen that we were talking about. No, Kimmo Timonen hit someone, and I was like, yeah, he was like a brutal guy to watch play because he was a winger, right? He wasn't a defenseman, but he like knocked some fucking guy. It was a defenseman. He knocked some fucking dude.
He was like a stud defenseman.
He knocked some dude out on his fucking feet one time. Or like
he wasn't a big hitter either.
He hit someone noteworthy, and some guy was like, Kimmo Timonen is a nice man. I've met him before, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And like, I was like, okay, like he was a good player. I liked him.
It sucked. He ended up going to the Blackhawks, and he got a ring with the Hawks. So I can't. That was the only consolation. Hated the Hawks bad.
Yeah.
That year, the Flyers and the Blackhawks played in the Stanley Cup. Me, Timmy, and this other kid Connor and this other kid Peter, we went up to Lake Placid for hockey camp, and we ended up befriending a group of 4 guys like us from the Chicago area. So it was like this, when we would text back and forth on Facebook in this like group chat thing or whatever, and you know, fuck the Blackhawks, fuck the Flyers. They end up playing in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they win. And it was just like the ultimate chirp fest for like the next 6 months. Like they're posting pictures from the parade, and I was like legitimately upset that my team didn't. Oh, dude, I cried. My grandparents like didn't want to let me drive home that night because I was so upset, and I was like, I'm fucking fine. Yeah, I was super upset.
Circling back though, the thing that I was saying about like finding like a card. There's like one card that like if you keep it in like particularly good condition, or you're like, this card is like good or noteworthy or something like that. Like if you find like a Mark McGuire like 68th tops or upper deck or Fleer home run series against Sosa card, and it's like still in the original packaging or whatever, you're the only human hands to have ever touched it, that thing's worth like $6,000 just on its own. You get that thing signed and like rated and graded and everything, it's gonna be like, you know, between like 25 and 30,000.
There's people that make living. Sorry,
it's good.
There's people that make like a full-on living off of like the card business. Our buddy tried it, Kuz's Cards. Plug him on Instagram. I don't know if it ever panned out. Yeah. It was Kuz's Kicks and Kuz's Cards. He was trying to do like the resale thing. Yeah. But he was big into like the card game. I mean, if you know your stuff, you can turn a profit, but it's just one of those, it's a real niche market because most adult Americans are like, who gives a fuck about baseball cards, dude? One of the
luxuries was that when I was in Hofstra, every other Sunday there was a swap meet in our student center where it was like 15 dudes would just show up with baseball cards. They bought, sold, and traded everything. And I got a really cool, who the fuck was it? It's not Jimmy Rollins. It was, the third baseman when I was in college.
David Bell?
No, not David Bell.
Was he an outfielder or was he a shortstop?
I think he was an outfielder.
I thought he was a third baseman.
Mickey Morandini was a second baseman, not third baseman. I was thinking Scott Rowland, but no, it's not Scott
Rowland. I remember David Bell had a Inside the Parker or some fucking a natural home, some fucking thing.
Yeah, bonked it off the fucking the corner or whatever, and ran it in.
He was a good ball player.
Excellent. Yeah, I was at Brandon Duckworth's no-hitter, and my mom made us leave in the 7th inning because she was like, this game's boring. I gotta cook dinner. And we get in the car, 8th inning on the radio, and they're like, we're not really supposed to say it right now, but Mr. Duckworth working on a no-hitter. He struck out Barry Bonds twice in the champion, the home run champion. Like he was going to break the record.
I saw him that year.
Yeah,
I don't think he hit a home run that day. I saw him. We sat third base line, literally like 4th row, me and my grandpa, and he brought me for that reason to be like, you can say you saw
a dinger.
You saw Barry Bonds the year he broke the record, and this guy next to us was screaming the entire game. Balco. I guess that's the steroid company he used or whatever. Just the entire game nonstop, and we were right behind the San Fran dugout. That was pretty cool. We got those seats a few times. I saw Mike Piazza on his last year.
That's fucking awesome.
I think he crushed a home run. The Mets killed us. We saw him.
I saw the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire home run. I saw both of them hit home runs in the vet. Sammy Sosa's was the later one. I think he was in the 30s or something. Mark McGwire's was like the 16th or 17th. But the Mark McGwire game was fun because they had just gotten J.D. Drew from the Braves, or J.D. Drew had went free agency and ended up on the Braves. I forget how it went down, but he was the guy that like scoffed at a Philly fucking contract and was like, yeah, I don't want to go play for those animals. And everybody fucking tore him apart. This was like pre-social media. This was when like the Dirty 30 was at its height. So they fucking packed the vet. Like 700 level is just banners like all the way the fuck around. JD sucks. People were throwing fucking bananas and shit at him. There was a guy that winged him with a fucking radio. Like, and I was at that game.
JD Drew black?
No, he was a white guy. No, they just like people were like,
it was like a Wayne Simmons.
It was a Wayne Simmons. I think like there was like any time there was just they would throw banana, like tomatoes maybe too. I don't fucking know. Just whatever they could fucking get at the Italian market on the way down and would get fucking
soft pretzels out of that shopping cart.
the veteran guy with no legs that used to fucking roll up and down the fucking ramp. I remember
$1 water bottles from a homeless man.
Yeah, man.
Ice cold.
But yeah, wait,
I want to go back to Pogs.
Just wanted to circle back to that because I have a few monumental history moments in the vet that I saw. But no, the Pogs thing was funny because remember when Bitcoins, like I knew what Bitcoin was in 2010, but when Bitcoins got kind of like popular around 2016, 2017
during the boom,
one of my friend's girlfriends was like, oh my God, I bought Bitcoin years ago and I'm a millionaire. And was like, yeah, fucking right. She's like, no, I swear to God, I have several thousand Bitcoins.
Did she really?
We're like, no fucking way. Prove to us that you have several thousand Bitcoins. She's like, I will show you. And then was like all cryptic about it. Didn't mention it for like a couple of days. And then comes in all proud with a fucking picture of a box of Pogs. She's like, see, I told you I have Bitcoins. We're like, those are Pogs. And she's like, what's a Bitcoin?
It was so painful.
It was so fucking funny to just
made my head hurt
and laugh at this chick for fucking weeks. Whenever there was a dull moment in a conversation, hey, said you sell any Pogs yet? Fuck you, Jeff.
That would have to be... Yeah, I never had Bitcoin or anything like that, but
no.
I can't imagine the feeling of like wanting to buy weed on the Silk Road in like 2009 and then pussying out, and now all of a sudden you're an overnight millionaire. Like, I cannot imagine. Like, that has, and there was a bunch of people that happened to.
Yeah.
There was some like overnight billionaires or something.
Yeah.
Like, now whether they sold in time or like, you know, some people, like I'm the type of guy where it's like I want to ride it to the moon. I'm not going to cut out at 500K. It's like, dude, this is going to be $1 million by next week. I would have lost.
You guys are not investors, but that's understandable.
Who's used guys?
Like
people like me.
No. People that were riding the Bitcoin zeitgeist, because that was a very bad time to invest in it. But
no, I meant you tried to. Yeah, you know, there's the story about the guy who bought pizza with it in like 2007 or something,
just to prove that he could, and then he found the wallet or whatever on his computer, like an old computer hard drive, and it was like, oh, it's now like I have 3 Bitcoins, and it's like I have $190,000, like that.
This guy had spent all of his last remaining Bitcoins on a pizza.
Oh, really?
And it's like he would have been a millionaire, but instead he was like a broke single dad living with 2 kids.
Oh,
and it was like,
shit.
It was like the what could have been story. There's also the story where some guy had his hard drive thrown out or something, and this had like 50 bitcoins on it. Like, it would have made him a millionaire, but he couldn't, without that hard drive, some bullshit, he couldn't get those coins.
Yeah.
So he was literally like searching the dump. Like, he was at the dump every day, just like raking through the dump, looking for it. And like, he had been there for months and hadn't found it yet. And like, yeah. But he's probably still looking, dude. This was like 5 years ago. But can you imagine that feeling of like, I have $3 million on my hard drive, but I lost the hard drive. Like, there's no like cloud for this. Like, you're just beat sauce. Like, how does that work? Like, I don't. I'm very ignorant when it comes to crypto. Like, I don't know why you couldn't just log in on another computer and have your funds.
Well,
like,
that's why I don't fuck with crypto. I don't fuck with crypto purely because I don't trust it. I don't trust that it's not backed by anything. And
yeah, I did it as a goof.
Yeah,
I bought some like, Doge as like, oh, I'm gonna make some money, and it's like I still own Doge because like I just never.
There's no exit strategy.
Well, it was like I could have made $100, and I was just like, fuck it, like whatever. I have 2 Doge coins or whatever the fuck. Like, I literally bought like $100 worth. It went up to like $1,000 worth, and I was like, well, what am I gonna fucking cash? Like, it's that same thing where it's like hard to cash out when you're gambling. Like, it's just. I'm checking now, but I'm pretty sure I still own some, Doge. It's worth 18 cents.
Hell yeah.
My quantity is 3,500 of them, and the value is $669. Nice. So basically, I turned $100 into $660. It's still a plus, but yeah, at its and I not to go long on Dogecoin, but
please.
I think we told on here before. I was gonna put 1,000 in, and I was like, this is when I'd stopped gambling. I was like, this is just an excuse to gamble again. Yeah, like I was like, all right, let me chill. I'll just put 100 in and have fun. And it went from 100 to 1,200 at its peak, and it was like the whole time was the buyer's remorse, where it's like the confirmation bias, where it's like I should have bet more. Like, if I would have bet 1,000, I would have 12,000. 12,000 to me that's a nice hit. Like, that's a good one. But
absolutely,
1,000 is just like. Like, it's not bad. I wasn't upset that I made $1,000, but I was more. It didn't feel like I made 1,000. It felt like I lost 11. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
So,
I see. I trade so differently. Like, I trade the way I gamble, and the way I gamble it frustrates you. I know. Like,
it's very calculated, slow, and methodical.
Yeah,
whereas me, it's like I'm gonna bet the rent on Russian tennis at 3 a.m.
Exactly.
I'm fully. It takes me about one day, and I'm full tilt for like 6 months. I've been pretty contained.
Yeah,
but.
I enjoy telling you about my game, like when I actually do tilt, like, which is very rare and few and far between. But when I do
your tilt, it's like I lost $300 playing poker.
That one time it was like $700 playing a slot machine, and I
lost $8,000 in like 4 days. I drained my entire fucking bank account. It was money that I made working construction for $10 an hour over the course of like a year and a half, and then I wiped it betting on hockey. And then whatever else was on at 2 a.m. There was a lot of soccer, Russian tennis, Chinese basketball, I think. Like, just whatever was on DraftKings that I could bet on. It's like, all right, I'm going to hammer the favorite. And then they would lose, and I would... Yeah.
Well, do you remember the one summer, I hope for the love of God, Jay, if you do listen to this, I'm sorry, but there was like one summer where I decided to kick a certain habit of mine, like halfway through the summer. So it was like maybe like June, I was completely like fucked up for the entirety of June, and then the 4th of July hit, and I almost was like, yeah, I'm probably...
Was it a rough go?
It was a pretty rough go, but like, I don't know, I had a bad...
I never really had much issue. I was depressed for like a day.
Yeah.
And then, like,
well, I was up for
I wasn't as deep down the rabbit hole as you.
Yeah, I was up for like...
I was a casual.
Three weeks straight, and I was like... because it's like you just work, and then it's like I have nothing to fucking come home to. So like... Anyway, so after I got clean, after I was done getting haircuts from homeless people, I was...
That's what you were addicted to?
Yeah.
Just going to get haircuts all night, dude?
All night, dude.
I love the feeling of the clippers on my skin, dude. It's like a tattoo addiction, but more gay. The burning hot clipper on my ear.
Just you have no hair or eyebrows or facial hair.
Yeah, that's why Joe's bald. He's addicted to
haircuts. Hell yeah.
It's the dumbest fucking
Well, that's
preference.
like, what's it from
premise,
the league where they're pressing cocaine cocaine into toilet seats, and the one character, John LaJoie, his name is Taco on the show. He's addicted to sitting on the toilet. And he doesn't understand why. So he's just like cooking and like doing his taxes at the same time.
That's like a
taking
Family
shit.
Guy cutaway.
Yeah.
Right there, that premise.
It's really funny. He's like rooting through the garbage because he threw
He's
his.
just got like a hemorrhoid because he's got poor circulation because he's just sitting on the bowl all
toilet.
day.
Yeah, but yeah. So that summer,
My strange addiction.
that summer I kicked my habit, and I decided that every penny I was using for my habit, I was going to put aside. And at the end of the summer, after the week after Memorial Day, I'm going to get myself 3
Labor
nights.
Day, you mean?
Or, yeah, Labor Day. 3 nights at Ocean, and I'm just going to go everything that I saved, everything. I'm just going to I'm going to ball
Dog
out
hard, dude.
And yeah, so I
Made me proud.
saved up like $1,200 and lost $750 in 15.
You had a really rough sesh.
15 minutes after walking into the door, I lost $750.
I know it was that instantaneous.
Yeah.
I thought it was over the course of the evening, but I don't know. I thought I remembered it as you just tried multiple different spots, multiple different games, and just got dunked on. But how did you lose the 700?
No, the $750 off the rip was in craps. I found a $25 table and I had all to myself, and I told them I just want to shoot a few times, and had one of those like monumentally bad sessions where there's nobody to give the dice to, so I'm just shooting poorly and establish a point, 7 out immediately. All right. Establish a point, 7 out immediately. And it's like, all right, field bet, don't pass. Establish hit an 11, so I'm breaking
And
even.
on those
Yeah.
$25 tables, it's easy to fucking run through your bankroll quick. First time I ever stepped up to the plate on a 25er, because this was my strategy when I was 21. It was like, I got bored of playing $5 or $10 all night, because it's like, even when you're up like $30.
Not
like
much,
it's so
yeah.
inconsequential. It's like my goal was always like, I'm going to bring 200, I want to profit 200, and then I'm walking away. And it's like, I was pretty good at once I was up. Like, I never had any huge wins, because it's like, usually once I got up a few hundred, like, I'm happy, like I'm done. So
Huge Win is actually the name of the guy that made the Wynn Casino in.
no shit.
I'm fucking with
Ah,
you.
thought you had some insider info for me.
It is-
Surreal.
his name is Wynn. I don't know what his first name is. I think Stephen Wynn. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Wynn. I got my dick kicked in at Harris. We all got a room there. There's a picture on my Instagram actually from that.
Is that
night.
where all you guys are flipping off the elevator?
Yeah.
That's a great picture of you guys.
No, that was the night. That was my only big win. I made the rent money on blackjack with Stu and Shep, drinking Fireball airplane shots till like 7 a.m.
That was at the Wild West, I think. Right?
Yeah. No, we're actually in the main part, not in Wild Wild West. We're in like the main part of Bally's.
Oh,
You
right
know what I'm
on.
saying? Away from Mountain Bar.
Classy establishment.
It's nicer over there, I think.
It is.
That's where I had the most fun gambling. Me and Johnny would play blackjack there, and I never did anything great, but it's just a lot of. It was like not 5, it was like a 10 or a 15, so it was like that mid range where, like I was saying, I got my dick punched in at the fucking Harris, $25 a hand. I brought 200, sat down. I'm the only guy at the table. Already don't like it. I'm like a full table. I like when everyone's winning. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blackjack can be a lot of fun like that, but I was looking at this as a business strategy. Like
I'm
I
investing.
thought I was going to beat the casino. Like I still think that sometimes, but
Mr. Bally's
this
going
is
home
like I was
broke.
actively pursuing. We would say we're going to buy Bally's tonight. Like,
Hell yeah.
Not like anyway. It's even if you got to that point where you could win. I think wouldn't they cut you off? Like let's value Bally's at $50 million. You go on a crazy run. You win like $50 million. You're like. Wouldn't they cut you off at like 10 or
Oh,
like
yeah, if you're
1
if you're
or
a-
something?
yeah, if you're winning,
What do you
they're-
think the win limit is where they ask you to walk? Like $1 million or like
they would probably not ask you to walk. What they would probably do is pull that thing from casino
Try
where
and
they would try and keep you
keep
there
you
as long
gambling,
so
yeah.
you would fucking
Lose it
crack.
back.
Yeah, and like that would probably be it more than anything because they
Wonder
can't
if-
legally ask you to like stop unless you're doing something like card counting.
I'm stoned and I'm going off on a dumb.
Please.
But it's like, wonder if that's ever happened where someone won so much that they ended up buying the casino.
That's a good question. Let's
Could
fucking
me
look.
and Johnny have done it? Could
I don't
we
know,
have bought
theoretically.
Bally's?
One of my favorites is Mr. Borgo. Shout out Ian. Shout out Glenn. Rest in peace, Glenn. We would go gamble with him. He was the fucking man. That's why I always loved gambling with Ian and Ian's family and whatnot. They're fucking great people. Mr. Borgo liked playing the Stinkin' Rich machine. And that was the only game he liked. So he'd sit the downstairs of the Tropicana where you could smoke. They had old Stinkin' Rich machines there and resorts. Both of them. Find a smoking section. Find a Stinkin' Rich machine. Give the guy $50.
He's happy as a clam.
Fucking ecstatic, grinning ear to ear, up, down, whatever.
That's not me.
And but like that's just it. It was like him. So me and Ian would migrate. We go play craps or whatever, and then we come back and find him. But this one time we went to go see Dunkirk at the IMAX. So Mr. Borgo, we gave him his bankroll, and then we went, did whatever, and then it's time for the movie. So we go see him. Mr. Borgo ran through his bankroll, and he was like, can anybody spare an old salt, fiver for a sody pop? just kind of being goofy. But yeah, we ended up all going in there. Then when we were sitting there waiting for the movie to start, I was like, so Mr. Borgo, like, let's say go back out there. I give you another 50, and we hit it big tonight. What are we doing? He's like, well, tonight, if we hit it big, we're going to buy Atlantic City. Then we're going to go from Atlantic City, we're going to go to Vegas. We're going to hit it big there. And when we buy Vegas, we're going to go to Monaco. And then once we buy Monaco, we're going to get our dicks. Fuck yeah, dude.
That is a plan.
And I was like, what? And then he elaborated too. I was like, we're going to get some hookers, or what are we going to use? I was like, no, we're coming back. We're already on Atlantic City. We're going to sit in this exact theater. We're going to get a bunch of ladies, and we're going to watch Deep Throat.
Jesus Christ.
What's
Deep Throat?
It was that movie from the 70s that Woodward and Bernstein's informant used as a pseudonym, but or in the Nixon Watergate incident. But anyway, that's a movie. It was one of the worst but most widely released pornographic films. Like The President's Wife, I forget who it was, went and saw it. Lyndon B. Johnson's wife, I think, went and saw it in theaters, and it was like a cultural phenomenon because it was like the first time regular ass theaters, regular ass theaters were showing a XXX like movie.
It was like porn. It wasn't softcore.
It was hardcore pornography.
Yeah,
and it was like it got wide.
Damn, you think people were beaten in the theater,
dude?
Had to be, right?
Have you seen Taxi Driver, right? Like that. Those theaters are like they existed solely
like
so
porn
people
theaters.
could. They existed solely.
Dudes are catching a beating there, but I'm saying like were people Pee Wee Hermaning out in like the Regal?
I don't know. It's kind of questionable. Well, the drive-ins with Jay would say that there was one in.
People were probably getting freaky in the drive-ins.
Jay would say you'd be driving on the Parkway and there'd be people pulled over there watching the porno because you could see it on the adjacent side of the screen, and there'd be like 3 or 4 cars pulled over. So I just fucking.
This is wild.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to think of what else.
That's funny as fuck.
How do we get on Deep Throat?
Mr. Borgo's plan to take over the world.
Yeah. That was it was just a cultural phenomenon. There's a really good documentary about it. But it was it was
like I've heard of it, but I didn't know if it was a porno or if it was just a movie with fucking in it. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a couple of movies that are legit movies. There's a Lars von Trier movie where Christopher what was his name? It's not Walken, the other guy. Fucking from Boondock Saints. Why can't I think of his fucking name right now?
No, I'm not familiar. I've seen the movie, but I don't know the guy's name.
He's the guy that looks all fucking goofy. Jesus fucking Christ.
My similar blackjack story though was how you lost $750 like off the rip. I lost my $200 bankroll in like 3 minutes. I lost 8 hands in a row, $25 a hand. Just me and this black dude, and he was just like, man, what you gotta do is take your money, go over to that roulette wheel, blah blah blah. It's how you're gonna win it back. And I took 100 over the roulette wheel, and I lost it in like 5 minutes. And I was just like,
now
I'm
what?
done. Like that was my paycheck for the week. Like I was making probably $300, $350 a week dumping trash cans. I was so like, that crushed me. I was like devastated. Not devastated, but I just definitely got super drunk that night. And was fucking like had anxiety really bad the next day.
There was to put a bow on mine, you were right. I did try and spread it around, but that 750 craft session, I lost that right off the rip, and I'm like, I am here for 2 more.
Didn't
fucking
you lose
days.
all the money?
I did.
Yeah.
But I had $1,200, and I'm like, all right, so that's like half my bankroll right there.
Bullets right there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fucking spread the rest around. And I was playing blackjack with this, like clearly an escort at one point, and she was doing way better than me, and then started giving me advice. And you know when somebody's just giving you advice because they're like, I feel bad for you, and there's nothing I can do to help improve your situation. So like,
there's one thing you could do, lady.
Yeah, well,
give me one on the house.
Yeah, like, well, but you know, like that, you and that black guy have it. So the only thing you could do is just be like, hey, here's what you're gonna do.
He's like, man, he's just like,
that
blackjack sucks, man. Go over that roulette wheel. He's like, just put your money on black.
Like,
you're gonna win it back.
yeah,
And
try
I
and
was
like
just
commiserate.
It was really bad advice.
Yeah, well, that's what the
I
chick.
followed that roulette strategy to this day. Like,
That chick told me, like, she went like up like a couple $100. I went down like 200 pretty hard, and she, like, I'm sitting there with like 50, $60 left or whatever.
She
and
just lost her money.
and
She
she's-
sucked an old guy.
and she's like, no, I lost my money. She went up.
I thought you said she went down.
No, I went down like 200 pretty bad. She went up like $300.
South of the border.
So she's having a good day, and then she just sees me get my dick kicked in. She's like, "Sweetie, just go to the bar. Just go over to the bar, get yourself like a nice stiff drink, and just like hang out, meet yourself a nice girl and everything." And I was like, "That's not how this is gonna happen. I'm like gonna probably go play craps." And she's like, I'm telling you,
No,
like,
she wanted to follow you over to the bar.
no, she was catching a plane too. She had all her luggage like underneath the fucking bar, which now in hindsight,
was on tour.
She was. That was why I knew she was a hooker. I was like, "What do you do for work?" She's like, "Actually, I'm an independent businesswoman." I was like, "What's your business?" And she's like, "Well, I'm in from Vegas, and
Hand
I'm
jobs.
And I was like, "I'm in from Vegas, and I'm here for 3 days, and then I'm going to upstate New York, and then I'm going back to Vegas, and then I'm going to Mexico." And I'm like, "You're a hooker." Like, it's clear.
It's a good gig.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice, right?
Can't be too bad.
Oh, I had one more thing. I gotta take a piss real quick. But what else? What else were we talking about right before? We got Pogs. Going down. Willem Dafoe.
South of the border.
Willem Dafoe was the guy. There's a movie called Antichrist where Willem Dafoe actually fucks a chick on screen with his actual cock. He gets a hard on and fucks a chick, and it's juxtaposed.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, it's called Antichrist.
He's that like goofy looking like. Isn't he British or something?
No, he's American. I'm pretty sure he's.
I thought Willem Dafoe was British. He was in that weird Lighthouse movie with Christian Bale or something.
No, that's him and what's his name? Fucking
There's a guy
Twilight.
who looks just
Robert
like
Pattinson.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's just it.
Who's the other guy? Is it
Well, I said Walken, and then I wasn't right about that.
Willem Dafoe is one of my favorite actors. I'm interested in seeing his fucking missile. But who is what's the fucking guy's name? The asshole song. He's like,
Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe kind of looks like him.
Dennis Leary does look kind of like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. I got them mixed up at one point.
You know who else kind of looks strangely like Willem Dafoe? I saw this picture of Iggy Pop one time, and he didn't have his like hair down. Like, he has like long blonde hair, and Iggy Pop has like a shorter cut, and he was a little bit younger.
It should be the thumbnail.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that picture. There's the gif of him where he's in the backseat of a car smiling all evil. He's got that's a great one. Who do you think looks better as like an ugly, handsome man, him or Buscemi? Because Buscemi's a handsome dude, but like
I don't consider Dafoe as ugly. I think Buscemi is
but
like
not like he's conventionally handsome, but like as for what makes him like exceptionally noteworthy is like he's not a looker. He looks
I think
like
Buscemi's uglier, but I don't know, he like pulls it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. They're both handsome guys.
They both got wrenches.
Buscemi actually worked at 9/11. He came back as a
I have
fireman.
heard that
I've
story.
heard that story so many times. Pretty cool. It's an honorable thing to do.
You gonna
but-
do the NASCAR segment?
Yeah, I got some other things I can riff on here because I've actually brought
Oh, yeah,
notes for the
riff it
first
up.
time. It's basically just DoorDash and NASCAR stuff. We have yacht security, the Rivers support agent. I think Joe would have to be here to appreciate this, but basically there's a thing late at night where Instacart will send you a batch to a store that's going to be closing in the next 5 minutes, or that sometimes it's already closed. So if you accept it, there's this life hack where you can message support and let them know that the store's closed, and they give you the base pay for the batch. So you might make $10 to $15 on a good day by doing this. But so I tried to do this the other night for my last $10, and this fucking support agent like writes me this weird like sappy like paragraph being like, it sounded like a fucking like some Eastern philosophy shit, like do good things and good things will be done unto you. So I just hit her back with the same shit, and then me and Joey have this it's like some Indian meme thing where it's like rivers never go rivers. It's one of our catchphrases we've been saying to each other for years. So I ended I sent one back to the support agent because I thought she had paid me. Ended up she didn't fucking pay me. So I had to actually that was going to be my last $10 of the week, and I ended up having to take almost 2 more hours till I got a good enough order on my last night of the week there. Miramar was her name. Didn't fucking pay me. But I gave her a nice paragraph back, like, do good things unto your loved ones. There's some gobbledygook that basically repeated what she said to me, and then I ended it with, rivers never go rivers. She said, thank you, Mr. Jake. Have a great night. And she didn't fucking pay me. Drunk girl delivery here. Some fucking... She looked young. They're probably fucking teenagers. ordered DoorDash
Nice
from
things.
Avalon, and I'm presuming she didn't seem that drunk when I met her, but I'm presuming they were. But she kept messaging me, sent me a weird picture of her friend holding a beer with like the Gollum filter on or whatever.
Nice.
But she was just like kept texting me like, bring my food right now, like in all caps, and like you can see my GPS location, and like I was doing 80 down the Parkway to Avalon. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, and she just kept calling and texting. Very entitled, like douchebag fucking behavior. Like I'm just a 30-year-old trying to pay my fucking mortgage. It was 2 a.m. Like it was late.
Spring
I was
breakers?
tired. Yeah, it was like they were down in the shore house for the fucking holiday or whatever. I mean, Easter was last week, but I don't fucking know. She kept calling me, and she actually left me a voicemail. I guess we can play it.
Here, go for it.
It's basically her trying to ask me to, and I had just gotten an order for $1 less. Her order was $8. The first one was $7. I figured I declined it and it sent it again and like added more to make it more enticing, but no, they're retarded. They both placed a singular order from a house, and like so, because I didn't accept it, like now her friend didn't get her food, but I took her order. So basically, it's like they might not have ever even gotten that order because I'm pretty much the only guy that takes DoorDashes from Ocean View. I rarely see other Dashers there, but she's calling me to be like, can you, my friend Maggie or something, can you take her order too? And it's like, I can't. Like I could, but I'm not going to get paid for it.
Yeah.
She only tipped. She lived in a house in the lagoon in Avalon, like a fucking McMansion on the water, and she tipped $2. It was $6 base pay. It chapped my ass because in my head I'm like, all right, cool, this is like a $6 or a $5 tip. Like I'm headed that way. I had a $30 Uber going to Icona anyway, so it's like I'm going that way anyway. $6 tip, that's fair enough. It was just a sandwich and fries, but she only tipped $2, and she was blowing me up because she'd probably been waiting for over an hour because no one's taking that. Like, but anyway, to her voicemail.
Let's go to the tape.
Can't fucking hear it.
Technical difficulties.
Hi, Jake. I don't know if it's too late, but it's Maggie.
I was already like in Avalon at this
Jaden
point.
is at the same house as me, and she also ordered DoorDash from Wawa. So you would get a big, humongous if you picked both of us up at the same time and delivered it to the same address. Thank you so much if you do. Anyway, bye.
I would not take that order just purely on principle.
I was already on the fucking Cooler by a Mile road, like the Avalon Boulevard or whatever it's called. Like I was already almost into town, and she lived on like 5 streets from the fucking bridge. Like it was like
now. In my head,
I wouldn't. I can't do that. That's stealing an order. Like
also, let me ask you something real quick. My head, I'm seeing this chick calling. What did she order something from Wawa?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So
No, she was the one who placed the order.
I understand.
She was texting and calling me like a fucking psycho.
Okay.
Like, sending me weird shit.
I understand, but the other order was the other chick's order that she was trying to get you to tack on. Was it also a Wawa order?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would have done,
just declined it.
What I would have done is I would have called, like answered her call and been like once I got that message, which I know you're probably not listening to the message or the voicemail while you're driving.
I didn't see that voicemail until like fucking 10 a.m. the next day.
So,
like, I was gonna know it was there.
I was gonna say if that was what it was, I would have just been like, hey, I saw that order pop up. I would have declined it and just gone to the Avalon Wawa, but it was probably closed, right? Yeah. So and then you would have been like, all right, shit out of luck, sorry, but. I don't know. I would have handled that like that, but just it's stupid.
What do you mean? Went to the Avalon Wawa and bought the food for it? But she already paid for food. So if some other driver, which on the off chance someone might have, because at that point it's going to start bumping the pay up significantly, so it might show up as $13.
Wow.
Or it might entice at that time of night if someone's out, you're not getting shit.
Yeah.
They might make the drive from Summers Point. The Ocean View people told me they had a guy say he was working Atlantic City, and it gave him this offer for like $26. So like he fucking made the trip down, and like I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. Like if you're further away, it'll send me orders to like the Weymouth Wawa sometimes, like way out, like past fucking Mays Landing.
Damn.
It's like a 20-mile trip, but it'll show up for like $25 or and I'm like, I don't do it, like, but. Yeah.
Anyway, also Avalon people are fucking entitled cunts.
Yeah,
so
it was just real douchey. Every now and then I get a drunk teenager that just blows me the fuck up, like constantly calling me. It's like, dude, just look at your app. It shows you exactly where I am. Like I don't know.
I get that.
And then it's the people who do it, they historically for me and like the general thing across the board that everyone says like they're always the ones who didn't tip.
Yeah.
Like most people who tip well aren't douchebags. Like it's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Well,
most people who tip you $1 are just fucking like
I
ignorant clowns.
I saw that Philly guy, the dude that has the e-bike that's like always like delivering in South Philly and shit. He got into some hot water because he was like, he posted a like short or whatever that was like all triumphantly like, this is like, as a delivery driver, you got to take control and take charge of your like your clientele and your customer base. And like what he did was like super wrong. Like, as a delivery driver, I know that you're never supposed to yell at a customer, because like, even from your perspective, it gets frustrating when you take an order, you go to the fucking person's house and they don't answer. He didn't have the option or whatever to leave at the person's house. Like, they were like, I
on
need to
Uber you can't send a picture, so then you can't like
leave it.
you can if you want to take the chance, but then you run the risk of like deactivation for like the person can claim like, oh, I didn't get it. And if you get too many of those, they fucking shit can your ass. So like, yeah, DoorDash, you can send a picture in the messaging part of the app just to cover your own ass.
Yeah.
But
So
Uber makes you wait like an 8-minute timer before
Yeah.
it gives you the picture option, and
So-
most people are not fucking sitting there for 8 minutes.
So he had somebody, like, I guess the timer is going or whatever, and he's calling the guy, and he calls the guy multiple times. And the guy was like, I'm sorry, I'm in a recording studio. And he like comes out without his shirt on. And he was like, yeah, we were doing something, I'm sorry. And the guy's like, look, man, I'm going to give you the food, but like, I'm telling you, I was about to just eat this right here. The guy's like, yo, I'm super sorry. And then like tipped him well.
Yeah, you can't.
And then, but like,
do you think it was a setup for
no,
views?
no. It was like like this. He had the guy's like face censored and everything. Like, maybe it was like, I think that it seemed like a genuine
Seems like
interaction.
a bold thing to say to a
And, was,
customer.
and the guy tipped him like $20, and then he like flaunted it. He was like, yeah, like the guy ended up tipping me $20. Like, looks like I made $30 right there. And everybody in the comments is like, yo, you do not talk to your fucking customers that way. Like, that is
No.
a really fucking bad way to conduct
said
yourself.
before, you polite them to death or whatever.
Yeah,
in
kill 'em with
person,
kindness.
you get to your car and then you motherfuck them. Then
That's, yeah, exactly.
Even when I've gotten into it with customers, I very subtly like motherfuck them. I'll be
Yeah.
like, thank you, have a great day, with a smiley face, and that's
Yeah.
me going like, fuck you, I don't
Yeah.
care, like, you're a douchebag.
And this
Like,
dude like handed the guy his food. Well, the first thing is he's on camera saying that if this guy doesn't come here by the 8 minutes, I'm gonna have his food for dinner.
that's the thing
and-
on Uber.
and-
People
yeah.
do that, and it's
And-
just like, why? I don't know why.
Yeah,
You could just leave it.
and that's just it. And I'm like,
Uber has something with support where it's like if you say they didn't show up, they'll just tell you to like cancel the order and like dispose of the food. And
Yeah.
people just eat it. Like, it's
So-
weird. People also scam where they wait till you get right near their house, like 3 houses down, and they cancel the order in hopes that like you don't notice and you still drop it off or something like that.
yeah,
Or I've had that happen to me, and I'm like, I got paid anyway or something,
they
and, like,
just had
and I had to
food.
keep the food. Yeah, so I had fucking Wawa mac and cheese that night.
I
But
remember where you're eating the fucking shit on a shingle in the parking lot of Acme.
that was a whole fucking technical issue. Fuck Uber, dude. I had one this week where the lady ordered Cheesecake Lady or whatever,
The place
Taco
in Tuckahoe?
Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ordered that from the train station, like 2 houses next to the train station, like walking distance. I'm like,
Stone's throwing distance.
why did you fucking order this on Uber Eats? And then she was mad at me because she wanted a mini cheesecake tray. This was paying $15. She tipped $2. And she added 5 more afterwards because it was I was at this place for like 30 minutes trying to figure out her order.
Yeah.
And I have to play a game with the store. These order and pays, this store is not affiliated with Uber at all.
Yeah.
And when I was new, I would say like, oh, this is for an Uber order. The store, like Kirk's refused to serve me.
Yeah,
This is Uber's way of still working with stores that aren't affiliated with them. They just send us in like a normal person with a credit card.
Yeah.
And like, you're not even supposed to say this is for Uber. So I'm lying to this girl, being like, oh, I'm ordering cheesecake for my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And it's really just like Annie M on fucking Railroad Road or whatever the fuck.
my girlfriend.
Yeah. But they didn't.
She
the
can't
thing,
fit out of the house.
The thing she wanted
She's
was
hungry for cheesecake.
a mini cheesecake tray. You have to order it 3 days in advance. Like, I went in and asked for it. They were like, you have to order that in advance. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like days in advance. Like, I didn't know if they could make it in a few hours or what. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. So they're like, no, like 3 days in advance you have to order that. So I tell the person, and she's all, why the heck is it an option on their website? And I'm like, because this store is not affiliated with Uber. Like there's no Uber stickers on the door. There's no Uber signage anywhere. I'm like, they don't even know this is Uber. Like, I didn't tell them this is Uber because they'll fucking refuse to serve me. Like, I had to break it all down for her.
Yeah.
And she was cool when she had money. Then I can't send her a picture on Uber's app, so I have to type out all the cheesecake flavors, and there's like 40 of them. It was just I was in there for like 30 minutes, but the story checked out to the girl workers there because it's just like, looks like me being annoyed at my annoying girlfriend asking all these questions, and it's just like,
it's a girlfriend simulator.
I made like $20 off of it. Like, it was worth it, but I don't know how I got off on that tangent.
Well, no.
Uber's fucking scumbag practices.
Well, they're like you said, they're fucking retarded.
I lost that breakfast order. That's why.
Well, yeah, but you said this week this was what happened. This was over the last summer, but Duck Donuts, I think they're a non-affiliated one too. I don't even think you probably get orders for them because they're not open.
Never
right now,
have.
They have some.
I don't generally work Avalon. Well, it's kind of out of the way.
They had some issue where people were like pre-ordering like 50 donuts at a time because they're
not showing up.
It's not even not showing up. They were ordering like 50 at a time, and you need like a 2-day window. So like they have enough to like make the orders usually and then fill it in. But then like the person would like order it for Wednesday and then come in Monday and be like, yeah, it's set on your website. Like you took the order, and they're like, well, yeah, we needed like an extra 2 days to get the supplies to make it and whatnot. Blah 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 blah.
Was it like, their website, or were they ordering through Uber?
I think it was through a third party. Like I think it was through either Google, which Google's boned us like multiple fucking times because it's not even Google, it's Google Assistant. So it's like
Slice
Google,
or whatever it goes to.
No,
a lot of them.
Google Assistant is like who fucks us because it's like people have their little Alexas or whatever, and they're fucking hammered. They don't fucking care. And this is also why, like, I'm gonna end up Ted K'ing out on this fucking shit, but people will go to their shore houses and they'll have an Alexa, and the Alexa will like, if you go, Alexa, give me blah 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 Oceanside Seafood menu, it'll read you the menu items, and it says, would you like to order online through Google Assistant. It doesn't make you like sign in or whatever. So we'll get like 5 orders from the same Google Assistant account, but like it's because their credit card isn't going through, but it's like still coming up like it's paid. So it's just fucking boomers that don't understand.
Tony Beef, where it took my card twice, and I had a whole fucking headache of trying to get my $80 back.
And it's like all like technology that's engineered for boomers not to understand how to fucking use it. It just confuses the whole fucking process.
And the website's usually glitchy on a
Google's.
It's like you're not on like the app. You're just on like Safari or whatever, and like you click it and it doesn't load. So you click it again, and it takes that. That's what happened to me. It wasn't loading, so I clicked it again, and then it registered 2 orders or whatever. Like
so.
This is just geezers being like, why isn't this working? Ours 5 times.
Our like online ordering is like a third party. It's like software specifically made for our menu. Yeah. But like Google Assistant, you could still go on Google and hit menu and then order online, and it's like through Google, not our website. So we get.
And how does that come through to you guys?
So that's just it. People order specials that we haven't had on the menu in 2 years, and then they call us and flip the fuck out, and we're like, we tried to get Google to stop doing that, but it's like just the way their tech works.
And the way their tech works, like it's not menu specific, so it's like it'll just say like, you know, tuna hoagie, like, and it won't say, there's no option to be like lettuce, tomato, onion, like it's it's always happened on these order and pay ones, and they'll be like, well, what do you want on that, or how do you want that cooked? And it's just like, I'm just like, I'm reading off a list here, it just says tuna hoagie, so like just give me what, just a plain tuna hoagie, I suppose. Like, give me what you like. And they're always like confused, like, are you fucking retarded? But I can't tell them this is for a fucking Uber delivery, or else they won't sell it to me. And it's like, that one is weird, where it's like, I don't know why they do that, because they're getting a free delivery, and they're not having to pay like. But normally these platforms charge 30% of the bill.
Yeah, but from the business owner's perspective, just
it's
because
a headache.
It's more of a headache, because now you have an extra layer of like, if this person's order's fucked up, you're not going to directly communicate with the customer. The person is either going to call the guy or they're going to call the restaurant. We're going to have no fucking idea what they're talking about, which happens all the time to begin with anyway. We had a lady fucking call us from Richmond, Virginia, like during COVID, I think it was like 2020, 2021, and she's like, y'all got the best prices on crabs in town. I'm gonna get 2 bushels. 2 bushels is like $400 fucking dollars. So we're getting ready to fucking send them.
And then Richmond?
No, like cook them, and like we're getting ready, and this lady calls us back. She's like, "I'll be in there at 4:30. You know, just have them hot, and like I want to know, do I park like in this lot or that lot?" And we're like, "Wait, like hang on, what?" And the lady's like, "Yeah, it says that you guys have to pay for parking, but if you like you validate," and we're like, "What are you talking about?" And it turned out this lady there's an Oceanside Seafood in Richmond, Virginia. And she online ordered something there. They said to call the store, so she called us by accident. And then we took all her information because she thought she was doing it, and we charged her for everything. And then the other place
to have
also
an out-of-towner ordering an Avalon's not
uncommon,
yeah,
right?
like
and
everyone there's a
tourist. It took us like fucking 2 days to figure the fuck out what happened, and then like eventually we got to the bottom of it. The lady got her money back. We used the crabs just to sell at our market and whatnot. We ran a special and whatnot, but it was just like
you did cook them.
We were getting ready to, and then like people were asking for crabs anyway because they see us like getting them all fucking uniform and whatnot.
They look good.
And they're like, yeah, like, so we ended up selling like a bushel like right off the bat anyway. We justified doing what we did, but regardless, it was like Google. It was all Google's fault. They took this lady's like credit card information, and the place made it, and like she was fine, but they like told her to call and clarify or something, and she called us. Like, and we don't know if Google told her to call us or she just Googled, and Oceanside Seafood in Avalon came up. It was just like
there needs to be like definitely a more streamlined.
Well, Google needs to stop doing this on their own volition. It's really their fucking problem because it's an Indian.
A lot of restaurants use Slice, and it is pretty.
What is Slice? You said it before. What is it?
A lot of pizza places use it. It's just like, it's a way that you can order online. Like It's just a third-party app where it's like, instead of calling in an order, you can just, or I think you can order and have it delivered through DoorDash because I get Slice deliveries sometimes. But it's mainly just instead of calling, it's just like a digital menu and you just select what you want, whatever. But the one in Woodbine, it used to be Sopranos. Now it's like Panzini's or something like that.
Yeah.
They were like the first ones around here to use it, but now like not even just pizza places, but a lot of restaurants use it. It's like a millennial fucking thing to like avoid your social anxiety so you don't have to make a phone call. But that thing's also bullshit because it's not a lot more, but I've noticed it's more when you like there's like a slight upcharge on things. Like, you know how DoorDash charges shit up a lot. Like this is like they add like it'll be the one I ordered on Slice and it was like $50, and then I was having issues with my card or something, and like I just decided to call and go pick it up cash, and it was only like 40. Like it was like a significant enough. It was a noticeable difference, and I was like, I'll just call next time. Like, fuck that. Like,
we were looking at what it costs to get room service at the resort when we were staying there, and it's like you could walk to the elevator, go down to the elevator. The resort has a pizzeria that is right on, like, in our building. We don't even have to like really step outside to get to this pizzeria. One pie is like $15. If you get it delivered to your room from, like, you could also order Grubhub and get Grubhub to deliver it for less of a fee, but like you could get room service to deliver it. It turns into like a $45 pizza, and it's like it's like what
that's the same thing with DoorDash.
Yeah,
a $20 pie
turns into like a 35.
No, like by the time you tip your guy $5 and like the $15 in fees, it's like a 40.
It's so like fucking stupid.
Like
I mean, it's not.
I know fast food's gotten more expensive now, but like let's say a meal that would have cost you 10, like you're paying like 25 after all the fucking like but I'm glad DoorDash wasn't around when I was drinking, because like I know for a fact I wasn't a big drinker and driver. I would have been ordering Wawa at like 2 a.m.
How do you think I got so good
night,
at it? Dude, back when I was on the sauce, baby. Oh fucking yeah, especially down south.
Now most like. I'd say 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I prefer just to go to the, like, I would I've never even thought to order Instacart. And food too, it's like, it's just so much easier just to call it and go pick it up.
The closest is Las Olas, just because they're not usually, the chick that works the phone is good on the phone, but occasionally you get the non-English speaker, and I'm like, I don't want to be like charading with you over the phone. Like, if I go there and it's the one guy, he's good, but like sometimes you get like the odd guy that
the one in Marmora,
the one it's like in ShopRite, so I just use their online ordering because it's directly through their website, and the only reason is just because I don't want to end up confusing them. They can read it on the menu, but I get the same thing every time. You can save your order for next time. I just hit a button, my whole order comes up. Yeah, and it's like I get why this specifically
it needs to be
makes
like
sense.
that.
Yeah, and we have that, but I'm sure that they have the same
the
problem.
Prices are the same.
Yeah, and
because that's the only thing I don't like about Slices. It's like and people debate me on it, and I'm like, no, it's definitely like try it.
Yeah,
try
like,
it.
it's
like
expensive.
you're gonna, even if it's only a few bucks, like I don't want to pay an upcharge just for ordering my. I'm saving you money. I'm not tying up one of your workers for 3 minutes. Like I don't know. Like why am I paying an upcharge? Like it should just be Las Olas or Oceanside Seafood style. Like there's always like these little stupid issues. Like I don't know.
I've heard that with weed delivery services too, like out west more than here, because like I don't really know of any reputable apps that are like it. But like
it would just be like guys like us trying to configure like 20 deliveries in a day.
Well, so
something's gonna get fucked
you know,
up.
like Leafly or whatever. So like in Colorado, they had like a delivery service where the guys were just like constantly getting robbed and shit. And I forget, like it was right when I was out there, and they had this big thing. There was this big push for gun reform in Colorado, where they were trying to say that like because they passed, it was 2015, so like they wanted to say because they passed the weed law, they were trying to like get stricter on the open carry laws or whatever. But a lot of the weed reform people were like, no, actually we like the open carry because it deters people from robbing us, because we're rolling around, you can't put our money in a bank, so we have to like build vaults and take the money off site. And like because of that, these guys were getting like robbed left and right, so they were like pretty big advocates for, you know, the guns staying
the big
the same.
issue in the
huge.
legal space.
It was like huge out there.
Do banks affiliate at all yet?
No, I don't think so. I think
even in Jersey, it's still all cash.
Yeah.
I thought you could pay with a debit card at these places.
No, you can pay with a debit card or whatever, but a transaction is different than putting money in. Like, so you can, what they'll do is they'll have a third-party holdings company.
So when they get that debit transaction, do they have to cash it out?
So this goes to a third-party holdings company. So think of it like DraftKings, how you know you're not getting, you might be
a couple days.
You might be depositing, and the transaction comes up as I put $50 into DraftKings, but then when you get paid out, regardless of if it's more or less, or like, you know, even just a test from their end, it comes out like Mamoozle fucking Inc. or whatever. They have a third-party holdings company where when you have certain legal law, like I wouldn't say like legal precedences, because it's a state by state thing, as opposed to it being, the reason they can't put them in federal banks is because it's a federal law. The state by state is like, you could get a credit union that plays ball, but you're going to need a third party holdings company that isn't weed related for you to put the money into before. So like they have their homie that they grew up with that's like got like an IT job or whatever, like writes
real
like
estate,
writes
Silver
like
Spoon,
writes like a fucking stupid script for some stupid website that just basically is a front for PayPal, like just the exact same, it mimics PayPal, and every time a transaction comes in on their end, it goes to this third party holdings company, which reports it as a transaction to them as opposed to a transaction, and then it's like there's still
they can put it in the bank that way.
I don't think they can put it in the like a federal bank, but I think that's how they use it to like hold it or whatever. But I'm getting off topic on this. Regardless, what I was saying was like Leafly had like delivery service, and it was like the first delivery service like I heard of, and like all I was hearing is that like people were like, I drove for it for like 2 weeks and they got robbed like 5 times in a day. And I'm like, I'm done. Like
they're big here and they're gray market, but you see. Like you don't see them so much around here, but you go into like Atlantic County, like
all the little
see,
QR
like,
code
Hub
stickers,
and, like, all these like, or there's one. It's like
there's a Jersey Devil dispensary or whatever that's like an app, and it's just some guy cruising around in a Chinese food. From what I understand, I don't know. I might have just blown his fucking spot up.
Apparently, they're like expensive as fuck though.
Yeah,
like,
that's
they're
just
taxing.
I was just
feel
gonna
like it's a massive risk just to be like putting yourself out there. You gotta tax to
gonna,
like make it to justify it. Like
the guys that are fucking making the apps, from what I heard, they're all like skimming like credit card numbers and shit. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like that's stupid. If you go up to like
if you have to depend on one of those things, like you're a white dork.
Yeah.
So it's just like they know that you're your food. Like they're gonna take advantage of you. Like not all of them. I'm sure there's guys doing good business, but the ones that are gonna scam, like I mean it's the same as any business. Like there's fucking scumbags everywhere. You ever see those clips where they fucking go into like bodegas and rip the fucking skimmers off the things or whatever?
I was watching
it's just
like 3 of these right before I came
Indian
over here.
dudes
Yeah.
like being like, oh, we don't know.
What's that? Like,
no, the workers are just like, oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
they're like, oh, we had no idea. Like, what was that? Oh, let me call my boss real quick. Like, no, you're clearly in on this. They're paying you $15 a fucking card that let you, and then they just come in, they fucking tap their fucking card or whatever, which is a blank, and whichever one it's like non-pin related or whatever, just yoink, and then it's like they can fucking go and swipe. It's a whole thing. I was watching Jack, what's his name? Jack Dorsey, I think his name is. The fucking
it's a good hustle.
Dude, they showed how much money they could generate in a day, and it's like if you get
make millions of dollars doing this.
hundreds of thousands of dollars per hour if you're good at what you're doing, because it just like racks things up like in a way where you're buying.
That's an issue, though.
Yeah, well, that's just it. It's like
You just have a Walter White storage unit full of cash. Like,
No,
how do you?
They have like Google Play cards that they have to like launder and shit, and it's it's a whole fucking thing. So what they'll do is they'll find like an unsecured, like, I'm not entirely sure about the nature of this, but you know that like Flipper Zero thing that I had? There's a guy that had one. He was showing how what you can do is you go in, and much like a skimmer is just reading what your card information is and like what the the expiration date, what like the pin is. But like there's like technology you can have that does that, but then also mimics the little chip in it with
What's that?
going out. But yeah, the flipper, you could use it like your credit card, so people will like go up to your credit card and just be like, oh, that's a pretty cool card, and like just put it next to it, replicate the fucking card, and then they'll go and just like buy like thousands and thousands of dollars
Immediately.
of like Google Play and shit, and then just like shock it off for like like a fourth of the fucking face value or whatever for cash. And it's like kind of hard to trace because you're not like physically taking something. You're like, the skimmers are like tied to a database, where these like flippers are more like isolated. It's harder for them to track unless you're like you're not uploading it into a network or something. It's a whole fucking scam. But yeah, the guy was like, I made $150,000 in a day doing this. Like, I just went to 7-Eleven in the morning at 8 a.m. I asked some guy about his credit card. He showed it to me, and I had my flipper in my pocket. I skimmed it off him, and then I went immediately to Best Buy, bought $2,500 worth of gift cards, then went and like bought like a $20,000 this or whatever, and it's like his credit limit just never kicked off, so he just kept buying
So
and
this
buying.
guy had
and
a massive credit limit.
yeah, and he just kept buying and buying and buying. He said he got like $150,000 worth of shit in like 5 hours. Like,
And how do you get away with that? Like, don't
I-
they check ID
I
when you
have
buy
no
large
fucking.
purchases?
I
Like,
have no idea.
I
Like,
feel like they've checked my ID over like a few $100 before.
Same.
Like,
It's
you know
like,
what I mean? To
and-
confirm who I am, and it's just like
and like I guess there's like alternative methods that we're not thinking of. Like Aaron's is a kind of sketchy company. That's one where they like don't like like that's
motor parts or
no the rental, like they they rent like furniture the way like fucking what's the other one?
Rent-A-Center.
Yeah, Rent-A-Center. So they're like
I don't
similar.
know. You know, I said motor parts because they
There
were
you
a
go.
sponsor on Michael Waltrip's car, but his other sponsor was Napa Motor Parts. But I don't know.
Napa
I correlate.
know-how.
I forgot Aaron's was like a Rent-A-Center. I thought it was like an auto company in my head for some reason.
It was on an automotive vehicle.
I'm stupid, but
After this, we can go to the NASCAR segment and the wrap up. It's almost like 4 o'clock. But
he's rolling around a little bit.
all right. Anyway, we got I don't even fucking. what was it?
Aaron's is a shiesty company, so
they fucked Jamie over because they ran his credit. His credit was good. They said he was approved for like this much amount of furniture.
you can
He-
have this TV.
Yeah, he ended up getting it, paid everything off, and then someone somehow stole his fucking shit and bought like 3 or 4 more TVs and like furniture and shit, rented it, ran up his fucking credit, and they were like, yeah, we don't know how that happened. You came in and did it. And he's like, I physically did not come into the store and like ask you for 3 fucking, like, that makes no fucking sense. And
Yeah.
they were just like, fuck it, you're stuck with it. Like, and he had to
Do a
get a lawyer.
chargeback on his fucking card or whatever.
Yeah, he had to get a lawyer and everything. And they were like coming at him. They were calling me daily, like, and being like, we know where he is. And I'm like, I am in New Jersey. He signed your fucking lease agreement when I was still living in North Carolina. I've lived in 2 different fucking states since then. Fuck off.
Aaron's was calling you.
Aaron's
like
was
that?
calling me
That's
daily.
weird.
Yeah, they were being fucking shitheads.
My mom, we have some experience with Rent-A-Center. I feel like she's dodged Rent-A-Center a few times. but
Everybody
she's still,
does. Like, it
She's still
happens.
because I've came home when I was younger and it'd be like a notice on the door, like, we tried to reach you, like, we're trying to take your fucking couch back, dickhead.
Give
Like,
us a shit.
I think she still has some piece of furniture from there, or it might have been, I think it was the couch or something, but I think it's paid off now. But
Nice.
I'm like, Ma, why did you, like, dude, she loves Rent-A-Center. Like, she's just like,
It's
I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, just save up and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just, I'm the opposite. I don't want payments. I don't, like,
same.
I don't know.
You know, it's a
I'm
weird
not
one.
knocking it, but it's just the issue with Rent-A-Center, or I'm sure Aaron's, is just it's like an egregious interest rate. Like, you end up, by the time it's said and done, I think our compact Presario when I was a kid, the computer was from Rent-A-Center, and you know, let's say the computer costs $500. Like, by the time you pay it off, it's like $1,500 to $2,000. Like, after they juice you to death for 3 years, like
I want to say it's Home Goods, but it might be like what's the fucking Big Lots? I think it's Home Goods or Big Lots, one of them, where they like put, like, if you sign up, they give you like a massive like $500 like off the rip rebate if you like spend like $4,000 or whatever. Like they give you like a massive rebate. And one of my ex-girlfriend's moms got looped into that. She bought like brand new furniture, all these like like picture frames and like
so you spent
tables.
$5,000 to make 500.
To make 500.
Doesn't fucking make
and
sense.
then they make you buy, or they make you put it on, like, at least part of it on a credit card where the interest rate on that is like 14%, and she was like not paying it the way that you're supposed to with that high. And they fucking
my interest
killed
rate's
her.
like
They killed her.
29% on my
Yeah,
credit card. I
it's-
pay it off every month.
Yeah.
But I literally use it for like Wawa and like gas and like
Yeah.
dumb shit. Like I don't really ever run up. I have like a $6,000 limit, and my bill is usually like $300. Like it's like
I asked them to raise my limit 2 years ago. They gave me an extra $1,500, and
I never asked them
Yeah.
to raise it.
because they just improves your credit score. That's all it does.
This is still it's a regular one now, but it still says TD Cash because it's the first account I had was a TD Secure card. I put $500. My limit was $500. After like a year, they gave me my $500 back, raised my limit to like $1,000.
Hell yeah.
And now my limit's $6,000. And my card's still the same. It still says TD Cash. Like I still look like I have a secure credit card, but I have like a fucking 780 credit score.
You know what's fucking funny? TD is like one of those companies where they're so shitty at communicating with each other. They give me a business debit card, which had like I was physically walking around with a debit card that was not supposed to be tied to my account, and when I went to go get, like, how they expire, I gave it back to them, and they were like, how long have you had this? And I was like, 8 years, like, since whenever you guys issued it to me. And they're like, yeah, we should have given you a new one of these like immediately. This is not good. Like, they would actually give you like credit, like a line of credit on your debit account if you
Someone
asked.
just fucked up.
And they were like, yeah, we really, like, this is like a big oopsie. Like, you have to like jump through some hoops to get this specific card. And if you like walked into like Home Depot and were like, I'm a contractor, they would have like given you like 50 grand in credit. Like, oh, that's not good.
Like, damn. Well, let me get that card
Yeah,
back.
can I get that card back? I want to go to the casino. Bitch.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
I
do
covered
NASCAR
my
real
first
quick.
3. My last DoorDash note says late week rally. I thought I was fucked. I tried to make $1,000 a week working, and I needed to make like literally like $550 on the last 2 days, which is like a $280 a day average.
Yeah.
And that's not been commonplace lately. And I somehow pulled it off. I made $280 both days.
Very nice.
Had some fucking juicy orders on Instacart on Sunday, which never happens. It's been a while. Normally a good order is like 30 or 40. I had one that was 70 and then one that ended up being 78 with a $15 cash tip, so it was like 93. Lady tipped like $70. Like it was
Wow.
fucking, I mean,
People are in the giving spirit.
She was in Ocean
Christ has
City in
risen.
like a brand new mansion, but like most of those people don't tip well at all. I did good service. I got her everything and got it there in like less than an hour. So like, not that I deserved 70, but like I was like, at least I like did a good job, and like I don't know.
Did good, babe.
Had a good late week rally. So I wrote here, and then we have boring Martinsville scripted Hendrix. These are the short notes.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't think that was
I
scripted.
didn't find it terribly boring.
I didn't either. I thought it was a very electric race.
But I also watched it while I was having that late week rally. I had it on my phone in the little thumbnail, at the corner of the screen, where I was essentially listening to it because I'm driving / shopping while watching 90% of the race.
Living the dream, babe.
I got home to see the end, but I wasn't stoked about it. I was stoked when the caution came out. I was like, cool, let's get these fucking Hendrick douchebags out of here. I was pulling for Chase, too. He's a Hendrick guy. He hasn't had a win in like 2 years. But
did you see
fucking Willie B gets it done again. What are you going to do? Kid's on fire. But yeah, everyone was saying, at least in the conspiracy NASCAR space, that was obviously rigged because it was like Hendrick 40th anniversary of their first win.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
But Bowman still scored like a 7th or something. He still had a good day. Yeah. I don't know.
It
wasn't for me.
As a casual, I was complaining about what Bristol was the last one that
Bristol was the one. You're the opposite.
See, but no. Bristol was the one where it was a tight circuit last time, and then this was also a tight circuit. Martinsville.
You like the word circuit.
I do.
No one calls it that in NASCAR. They
I
call
don't
it
give
a track.
a shit.
It's just a track.
It's short track.
Yeah.
Regardless, Martinsville was also a short track. I thought this was an exponentially better, more bumping, and now I get what you mean about the short track beat because they're just like
the problem isn't the
rear-ending
track.
Yeah.
The problem isn't the track. Apparently, it's the car. They're so durable that like they can't like they can't move each other out of the way basically because
Oh, yeah, they were shoving each other.
People were complaining about the car, not the track. But yeah, this car doesn't put on good racing, and apparently the things that would fix that is tire fall off and more horsepower. But yeah, you were on the opposite side of the fence where it's like every big NASCAR podcast, from like the Teardown to Denny Hamlin's show to Dale Jr., everyone loved Bristol, and then like everyone was shitting so hard on this race.
I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it a lot.
I didn't hate it, but I just, as a non-Hendrick fan, I obviously didn't love the end. Like,
yeah.
And I love Denny Hamlin, and he had a shot there. He was in fourth, probably wasn't going to win, but then he pitted solo on the last caution with 2 laps left. It dropped him back to 10th.
I was going to say that was what I wanted to talk about. I understand now on the short track why pit road is such a crucial, like, because there is 1 lap. You have 8 seconds to get that 1 lap, and he got fucked over because
it's like 20. They run 20-second laps.
But still, like he had like a moment, and it wasn't like the pit took too long or like anything happened really. It was just like like the guy was right up the other guy's ass, and he just didn't get out and merge.
It
back
wasn't
in time.
even that. He would have lost. It's
at least that's my perception of it.
No, he would have lost. You don't have. If you pit, you're losing a ton of spots,
right?
Because the pack keeps moving, essentially. Like, so there's no way he's not losing positions unless the other leaders pit too. Theirs was a Hail Mary. They already have 2 wins in the bank. They're already in the playoffs. So it was like there's 3 Hendrick cars up front. We're the only Toyota up front. So it's like just do what they don't do. If they pit, stay out. If they don't pit, I mean I get it, but when he did it, it was just like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he threw away a top 5, but it was the notion of that move is that normally, like in the the good old days or whatever, tires were massively important. Like, you saw it at Bristol. If that was Bristol, he gets fresh tires and they don't, he wins the race,
right.
even from 10th. And that's what the drivers and the fans want, as far as like they want passing to be able to happen. They want the tires to fall off. So like that's what causes passing to happen, is when someone has worse tires, you get fresh ones, you can just drive right around them. And it's like that was the biggest complaint about Martinsville, is the tires just didn't wear at all. Joey Logano got 2 tires on the first pit stop, and then he ran 180 laps on the same. And he held the lead, and no one could get around him.
Yeah,
the leader couldn't get around Austin Dillon.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, but
for me,
people,
I don't know.
I didn't hate it, but people are like, this is not how it should be. Like,
well, they're wrong. I enjoyed it. I was having fun. Everybody looked like they were having a good time. I was pretty
neutral. I just didn't like the finish, obviously.
Yeah,
again, as a non-Hendrick fan, they were sucking Hendrick's dick all day, but whatever.
Okay,
it just, the general consensus from professional analysts, writers, spotters, drivers, retired drivers, all these guys that have massive podcasts, every one of them hated Martinsville. Like, and it got on Jeff Gluck's poll, who's like a big time analyst. Was this a good race poll on Twitter? It got like 30% good, like 65% not good. Like, it was like a massive like stinker.
Yeah. Okay.
But then again, I didn't sit down and watch it. Everyone was saying it was a tough watch. But because I'm listening. Yeah. I'm not watching it, so it's just...
All right, so I sat down and watched it. I enjoyed that there was the first overtime I've ever seen, because I was genuinely annoyed when my dad came home and just popped fucking Cheers on. And I'm like, come on, there's like live sports.
Was he on acid?
Yeah, I kept asking him that too. I walk in.
You take a tab at CrossFit.
I walk in with the dog, and I'm like, no! And it'll be on the phone, just fuck you. Hey, but anyway, I wanted to springboard this into the Phillies game last night, and then we can wrap.
So you liked that the first time you saw it in overtime?
It was the first time I saw it in overtime, and I loved it, and it was because I was like on pins and needles.
It's exciting.
And then you're like, no, it's still going on. I was like, no, Jay changed it. You're like, no, watch on the, and sure enough, they were like 2 laps still into the caution. I didn't know what they were doing. They were all warming their tires.
Finish. I liked that they kept it green. I liked that Elliott raced some clean. He did give him a shove, but he didn't, do anything too egregious. He had a shot there, but Byron just pulled away. But
right.
I wanted Elliott to win. Like I said, he hasn't won in a few years. He's NASCAR's perennial favorite driver. But I mean, as someone who dislikes Hendrick, that just sucked. Like, it's just like, I wasn't upset by it. Like, it was just like, well, I kind of saw it coming because Byron had been in the lead for a while. I'm like, well, I had time to prepare for my shitty Sunday.
Well, I didn't really pick up on any
You
of
don't
that.
have a dog
so-
in the fight anyway.
That's
so
it.
Their
Well,
cars, their
do.
cars looked cool.
Spinhouse, Ricky Spinhouse, who was holding his
He
own.
spun on pit
He
road.
did. He was doing his. He was living up to his fucking name. And I turned the first time.
You gotta love an underdog.
First time I turned on the fucking TV, he is literally bumping someone into the fucking
He's
wall.
aggressive.
He was like, it wasn't like enough to cause a wreck, but they're just like, oh, Stenhouse is
punts
getting
people.
They said something to the effect of like, oh, and there goes Stenhouse making a move, and it's like literally just his car going, and then the other guy's car hitting the wall and sparks going everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, get into it, right?
He's a real red-blooded American.
So-
he punts every foreigner road course ringer. There's like Japanese and like British guys, and he just dumps them immediately. dude.
I was enjoying that aspect of the race, that there was like, that is all the bumping I wanted to see at fucking the other one, Bristol. I wanted to see a race like that where I just turn it on and it's like, I don't care who's even in first. All I'm seeing right now is people just bumping the shit out of each other.
There was some bumping, but you didn't like that about Bristol
because
it was chaos or
but
whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't like this. It was like, this was cool. Like, this was a lot more like
People they referred to it as Denny Hamlin called it conveyor belt racing, where it's just like the complaint was like the leader couldn't pass the guy in last place because
Right.
it's just like
so they're doing a parade.
yeah, the parade laps. But I mean, my first initial reaction was just like, that's kind of about what I expected, because I know that the short track package isn't great or whatever. Like, it's just, I wasn't really expecting anything great, so I wasn't necessarily let down.
I wasn't
I
expecting.
did like the ruby red Hendrick cars. I thought they looked cool. I don't know. I just, I don't know. It wasn't. I liked say that they didn't have that late caution, I would have thought it was a big dud. But the fact that there was a chance for someone else to take it at the end, it was like
it was exciting.
That's what you're looking for in most races, is the last 5 laps or the last whatever. So, you had that overtime finish that kind of saved it for me. And even though I wasn't crazy about the outcome, like, there was good racing at the end. The last turn of Elliott trying to give it a shot, or like, it was.
Yeah.
It came down to the end, and I don't know. I didn't hate it, but then I watched all the podcasts that night and that next day.
Now I hate it.
Yeah, it kind of did be like, yeah, that did stink.
Well,
but
it's like when I tell you about like I enjoyed that 2 Bears 1 Cave, and then like Comedy Enforcement or Too Lazy to Try makes a video. It's like, look how bad these guys stink.
Yeah.
I'm like, kind of like,
they
oof,
warped
yeah.
me on Tom and Bert a lot to now where I'm like, these guys are douchebags.
They're nuts.
I watched all of the Too Lazy to Try ones. And
He's
I'm like,
funny. I like him.
but yeah, he kind of ruined TB1C for me.
Yeah.
But, no, I still like it, but
Well, so then the last thing I want to talk on, and then we can wrap, is
we have plugs too. But
we do have plugs.
I also have a great Xfinity race. On the short tracks, dude, the Xfinity puts on a great fucking show. The Xfinity's car is just NASCAR's last gen car. So it's like the Cup Series car from 4 years ago. Like, it's just, it put on a great show on the short tracks. Like, they don't do a good show on the 1.5 miles apparently, but I don't. The big thing people say is like, let the fucking Cup Series run these Xfinity cars. Just add more horsepower and just let them race these cars at short tracks, and it would solve all of the problems. Like, they put on a really good show. Eric Almirola, he's a retired Cup guy who runs part-time in the minors now. He got the win. He was super pumped. So you like to see it. An older guy who's retired get a win. That was pretty cool. The trucks was a bit of a wreck fest. That was a shit show, but I mean, can't really expect much less out of the trucks. That's still a good show. And then the only other notes I have is the plugs. So.
Well, all right. So yesterday, I don't know if you caught the Phillies game. I highly doubt you did. But did you hear anything about it?
Nope.
All right. So
sorry.
No.
Not a big baseball guy.
No. Totally cool. It's an early season game, and there was a lot of drama in it. So we are not doing great. We're now 500 right now, like as of last night. But
we're in the hunt.
But yeah.
How many games has there been? Like 5?
I'm sorry?
How many games has there been? Like, isn't it early in
10. 10.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's way
5-5?
Yeah, we're 5-5. So we're doing pretty good for us. But this was like not a pivotal game, but it's like you want on these early season road games, you need to make a statement, and you need to show people on your first game who the fuck you are, and like, who's showing up and whatnot. So one of my favorites that
punch him in the mouth.
One of my favorites is you throw a no-name pitcher out there, and he's supposed to pitch like 3 innings. And this guy ended up going 7 with only 2 hits, which is like unfucking heard of. It was this guy named Not Strom. That's the backup guy. Turnbull. Spencer Turnbull, and he's like a not no name, but he's like kind of a younger, like not as experienced with the Phillies organization pitcher.
Hot shoe prospect.
And he was supposed to go 3 innings, ended up pitching fucking 7. Dude, great.
Lights out.
Yeah, shutout, and then they brought Strom or someone in. He lets up a fucking run. Phillies had a 2-1 lead going into the top of to the bottom of the 8th because they're on the road. Nice cushy lead. And Schwarber hit a home run too. So 3-1 lead going into the 8th. They bring in this guy Jeff Hoffman. He's kind of a mediocre fucking reliever. Lets up 2 runs. They're tied up going into the 9th. Everybody holds. Going into the 10th. We got extra innings now. So this isn't supposed to be a fucking dramatic game. This is supposed to be pretty fucking routine. Nobody's supposed to care about these fucking, like it's just
early on. Like,
yeah, it's like, but they end up, Phillies right off the fucking rip, get a fucking 2-run home run. Ooh.
Someone's dead. He's still asleep. Like around 12, but he fought it for a while, so. Sorry.
No, you're good. Anyway, just the Phillies ended up breaking drawing first blood into overtime, and then they got real dramatic.
Extra innings.
They got real dramatic by bringing in this guy that's not supposed to pitch last night. His name's Soto, and he was supposed to pitch tonight, like as a reliever. Yeah, and he almost they almost like blew it, but it was one of those like down to the last man, down to the last minute. We had to kind of reach deep into the bench and do something that was illogical, but they pulled this win out and they set the precedent for the rest of the series. So it was like
They fucked themselves tonight, though.
They didn't fuck themselves tonight because we're going to have a starter that can go longer. I think it's Nola that's pitching tonight. Nola can go 8 innings, but he's got like a high ERA right now. He's like up in the 6s. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to be going to see Jay tonight at Ortlieb Lounge in Philadelphia on North 3rd Street at 8 p.m. tonight. Jay Scrocca will be performing all of his comedy at the Ortlieb
Break a leg,
Lounge.
Jay.
He's going to do good.
Hollywood.
He did good last night at Punchline Philly. He got 3 minutes in there, got a lot of laughs. Yeah, he did good.
That's cool.
He did really good last night. So Jay Scrocca tonight at the Ortlieb Lounge. And then
Punchline Philly's like one of the first clubs that I've heard him perform. Like normally it's like,
someone's basement.
A bar.
Jeff's,
not knocking what he's doing, but like that's
where the fuck is Rodney's?
That's a legit. Oh, that is true. Sorry, that is a legit club as well. But
it used to be called Dangerfield. I wasn't in danger. Sorry.
How's he doing now? Like I haven't heard any of his stuff since he started. So is he progressing? He's
doing
got
good.
New bits and stuff. How long can he go now? Legit.
He actually did his first improv last night. Not like improv, like it wasn't like an improv set or anything like that. He just walked up and noticed that one of the pieces of art on the backdrop of the stage was like supposed to be the Liberty place in Philly, like the 2 pointy
So he
towers.
just had like a Spurg moment, like you do about dice.
Yeah.
Actually, this is geologically.
No, he just
geographically
pointed out
incorrect.
that it looks like a dick coming. He was like, "I hope it doesn't come on my back," and that guy will laugh. And I was like, "There you go, man. You fucking teed." I tell him that. I was like, one of the things that he doesn't do, he just walks up there, and his set is like a little monotone. So I was like, go up there, and the first thing you say, it should be like something that's
observational.
Da-da. It's just a throwaway to get him on your side. Da-da, da-da, da-da. And that's what he did. He walked up there, he pointed at this thing, and just goes, "It looks like a giant dick coming. Hope it doesn't come on my back." Anyway, I'm Jay Scott. And it's like, he fucking nailed it. It was like, see, it works.
It's like so juvenile that like it gets like half the room on your side immediately.
I tell him that there's like all these little quips that he needs to do. Like comedy is in threes. If you're going to do something and it's going to be like, I had a dog, I wanted to get a blowjob. I had peanut butter. I put the peanut butter on my dick. The dog gave me a blowjob. It's like you got to find a way to make it like 3 things. Like you can't just be like, it's like it's not funny. You're just explaining a fucking felony. That's my observation. Anyway, all right. What else we got to plug?
We have all the plugs.
All right, so
should we get a first shout out to Brendan Shepard, Off-Road Racing,
our newest sponsor, we sponsored him.
Yeah. We're big fans of motorsports here at the Blacktooth Podcast. He raced last weekend. He took home P2. He does
very nice.
So he's not doing like motocross racing or whatever, like stadium style racing. He's doing like enduro, like long form, like in the woods, like
nice
endurance style races. So his page on Facebook's Brendan Shepard Off-Road Racing. And then we also wanted to plug the ABA therapy for kids with autism. Give them a shout out. for their Bubbles for Autism event at the next TOR race in Millville. I'm not sure the dates on that.
Yeah.
I asked the person who asked for the plug. I asked them for the details. I never heard back.
Didn't get anything.
But I did want to make it happen. Give the shout out. She gave us kudos for shouting out Brendan. So
Nice.
it's his stepmom.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey, can you shout out our event?" So I happily shout out your event, but I don't know when it is. So
Bubbles for Autism?
This is a half-ass plug here, but it's at the next TOR race in Millville. It's
Right
a
on.
Bubbles for Autism event.
Right on. Go say hi. Give him some support. Tell him the
Go
Blackwood
bring
boys.
some bubbles. I don't know exactly what the event is. Do you know?
Blowing bubbles makes the kids happy. I don't know.
Sounds.
You telling me this is putting a smile on my face. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
still some bubbles over there.
Not sure. We'll get more details. I'll reach back out and we'll do a proper plug next time. But I have that. Brendan Shepard Off-Road Racing. We got Traction Motorsports, Tommy Rink running the 11R. Thanks for the gear, buddy.
Thanks for the gear. It was a lot of
Rocking
fun.
it proudly. I was stoked to put this shirt on today.
I've been wearing mine around too. I'm excited. I'm a proud
I dig
11R
it, dude.
fan. Yeah. Not too many people rocking that around town, so it's like I feel unique.
I don't know if he raced or had practice last week.
He had practice last week. I was talking to Autumn about it. He did good.
We'll be plugging the results when we get.
Yeah,
you know
once
what I mean?
we're going to start posting all our motorsport friends. Their
Only good finishes.
yeah, little photo.
Bishop getting P2. Cool. You bring home 5th or worse.
You're fired.
You're not getting posted. We're taking our sticker off the car, off the bike.
We're taking a wheel too. Like we're gonna come there and hide your fucking throttle. We're gonna disconnect your brake line.
You can't go now.
You're not allowed to race until you race better. No supper. You're sleeping in the garage.
But yeah, Tommy made the promo video for the track he races at. I think it's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway.
Yeah.
And that's like a big deal. Like they only showcased like 4 or 5 guys, and Autumn was like stoked, like so glad he made one of these videos. Like he's running really good.
Yeah,
so
he
must
looked
have had
good
some
doing
good
laps.
laps. So
He did some real
I think
good
he's
laps.
got a whole new car, I think, or did he get that last year? I can't remember.
No, I
but
think he just upgraded everything he had because he had the chassis looks the same. He has the
I think a
old
new
black
motor or
he has
something.
the old Blacktooth stuff on the frame.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like, we gotta get the new sticker
Well,
on there.
he's got the new stickers now. They came in the mail yesterday, so he told me he's putting them on
the
there.
stickers probably weren't top priority, especially
Yeah.
for practice, because he was trying to get the car together. For
Yeah,
the
that's,
fucking
no,
season.
no, you're not allowed to race the car until it's held together by fucking
he's the real
stickers.
deal, man. He's like blue collar grassroots short track racing where he does all the work on his car himself. Like,
isn't it bizarre that
it's pretty cool.
We're buddies, like as different as we, because like I love him. He's like one of my best, like oldest friends, and it's like so funny that like the only reason like we know each other is because we grew up in the same town and our parents went to high school together, and that's like we would probably have never hung out otherwise. But like we were in marching band, he would go to the Bullies games with
We were
my
in the
family.
same grade.
We were in the same grade and whatnot, but it's just like we went in completely divergent directions, and it's like it's so cool now that like we have not only reunited as buddies and like gotten back together and whatnot, but now it's like his thing is something I'm passionate about. He likes the podcast. It's just weird how that like
it's
how
cool to
that
see.
happens.
Like, I'm sure that had something to do with you getting into racing a little bit. Is that you have
buddies that
not like that you have
context
that you have like you have like what the fuck is the phrase, like
a large penis.
definitely
In my
not
mouth?
that. No, like not like because we sponsor these guys or whatever, but that you have some like, I don't know, a dog in the fight, basically. Like you, even if we weren't
Investment,
sponsoring, like your buddy races,
Yeah,
so it's
he's like his passion, so I'm passionate by proxy.
yeah,
Like, I get it.
And then another layer of it is sponsoring these guys, and it makes it even cooler when they do good, because these are blue collar dudes just trying
These
to
are
go out and
dudes having
race.
fun
They're not
and-
getting paid.
yeah.
Like it's just they love racing, so it's like
we love them, so we make it. We do what we can to chip in. And
I
make
love
it happen,
racing
yeah.
too, so it's like it's cool to be able to like
No,
support
you
these
love
guys.
racism, and that's
Yes, and
you're pretty good with the improv today, buddy.
I've been seeing a lot of Between Two Ferns clips where like Steve Carell and Paul Rudd kind of dunk back on him. So that's where I'm getting my style from. But
I'm not going to make a joke about how for Despicable Me they were going to model Gru's nose after yours, but decided to go with something less
that was
cartoonish.
literally the one I saw earlier.
When you do a backstroke in the ocean, do people yell "shark, shark"? Oh wait, it's just Steve Carell.
I wanted to give our guys Tommy and B-Shep props. They're blue collar fucking
Blue collar fucking.
blue collar fucking like grassroots racers. They're working on the bike or the car themselves. They're doing everything, getting their vehicles ready for for Saturday or Sunday, whenever the show is, and they're going out and they're getting good results. So it's cool to see. Proud of our boys. You know what I'm saying? Also, we have Stewart's Handyman Service, 609-338 9427. Give him
And
a shout.
HRS Design and Promotion. That's Autumn. That's Tommy's wife that made the shirts that
She
have
sponsors a lot of cars too.
She does.
She sponsors 5 fucking cars. I thought that was really cool, man.
Yeah, it's very cool of her.
That's awesome. It's great to support these.
It's
these
fun.
short, these
It's
short,
so much fun.
These
Like,
short track racers.
Yeah.
That's racing.
It's
But a lot of these guys need some funding.
Yeah,
they're paying a ton out of pocket themselves too. But
Yeah.
any of these sponsors makes a big difference, even if it's just buying tires for the season or oil or something to help out. You know what I mean? Because it's an expensive fucking sport.
Yes.
Expensive hobby. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
but that's another thing about last week's race was I don't think I talked about it. It was Bubba Pollard. He's a short track dude who made his way up like the dirt track ranks or whatever. But Dale Jr. gave him a start in his spare Xfinity Series car, so he got to run in
Xfinity.
Yeah, and he came in 6th, and he started in dead last, and he ran his way up to 6th because
That's a real Ricky
he was
Bobby.
nervous and he fucked up qualifying. He's like 38, like he's
Wow.
And his family owns like a short track in Georgia, and he was on the Dale Jr. download telling his whole. Dale Jr. was like, "Let's get to know you," like blah blah blah. Got to hear his whole story. It was a great episode. But,
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he came out and he ran fucking 6th. Love to see shit like that. Like.
Hey, that's like when that guy, I think it was when the Flyers were playing the Rangers, I want to say. It was like that kid that went to Temple. Like, he was just in the stands with his family, and both teams burned up a backup goalie. And
He was the emergency goalie.
Yeah, he was the emergency goalie, and he suited up. And then I think one of the Zamboni drivers
Burke
did
was
it.
the on-call emergency goalie at one point.
Really?
He never got the call.
Yeah.
But it was during that era where, like...
They had, like,
It was
Esh.
basically like... No, it was like... getting a guy to show up with his pads.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't... Not that... I'm sure there's a ton of goalies that would love to do it,
Totally,
but
yeah.
I don't think it was like this... You know, you had to be like a halfway decent goalie, played some college hockey, and they're like, all right, dude...
Just if you're here.
keep your phone on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he might have known someone or something like
Yeah.
that, but he was the guy. I think he was there watching the game with the pads in the car or whatever, but he
Yeah.
was, if God forbid, 3, because there's another guy in the booth.
Yeah,
like he's behind that guy.
Yeah.
He was in no real danger, but it's still cool.
Well, no, that
thing
one
to be able to say.
The one Zamboni driver that ended up shutting out in Carolina, that was the coolest fucking one.
I don't think he shut out.
No,
he held off for the win, though.
he held off for the
He let up
tie.
one early, and then he finished strong. David Ayers.
Ayers, yeah.
And then apparently he got arrested for like beating his wife.
That sounds about
He's
right.
an alcoholic.
Got some CTE. Too many pucks to the head that night. So did his wife.
That was a great story, though. I loved that one.
I like
you
the way
love
it
seeing
ended.
the fucking equipment manager just come in and fucking
beating the
post.
shit out of his wife.
No.
That's
a dark turn.
That's the fun turn. All right, what's the last sponsor? Because we got
Can-Man.
Can-Man 609-425-3143 jscroc0@gmail.com.
I think Tommy's first race is coming up here on the 13th. So
Right
we're
on.
hoping, wishing our buddy good luck out there. And
I'm gonna try and get up there for that.
Shep's got one this Saturday in like Elmer. Apparently, it's like the closest one.
Is it
It's-
glued?
It's a tough one for me to make.
Yeah,
On the
I gotta-
weekends, I'm usually working and stuff, but
I got to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Go fuck yourselves.
love you guys.